Spicy.
Bart is going crazy.
Spicy.
Bart is going crazy.
Texas, Louisiana, New York, taking over, making so much money, pulling up in a Range Rover, quality intact, self-made, got them high motors, get the full meal, you ain't leaving with no leftovers, self-made is where it's at, and that's a fact, our impact will be felt, paid in full, everybody's stacked, change the game of our ways, you would think we abstract, form our own opinion, do you think we want it on the act, call a spade, game winner, minutes ball game, never doubt us, a high quality remains the same, always gotta work, build content, free by frame, try to go the other side, but man, this is self-made.
Whole arena. The whole arena. Yeet. Yeet, yeet, yeet your motherfucking ass yeet.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Self-Made Debates Volume 2. We are your hosts. It's Big AO and Rob of Self-Made. We know why we're here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
After the vicious, brutal, disgusting belt to ass I gave Ibou in the CM Punk versus Kenny Omega GOAT debate, he decided that he needed to right some wrongs in his self-made debate career. So we're back today. Rob, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I've been excited, kind of nervous about this all day because I don't know how this debate stream will go. These are two tough competitors within the self-made debates universe, and I'm very excited to see them duke it out tonight on Sunday primetime as we get started. So
it is Sunday primetime, going head to head against the NBA playoffs. We won't back down from nothing, nigga. We'll go head to head with Jesus, with the second coming of Jesus. We'll go head to head with fucking Martians attacking. When what needs to happen to Trump, we'll probably go head to head against that too. Anyway, FBI was just joking, bro. Please relax. Come on, I have a family and a job. So the way that this is gonna work tonight, chat, is we're gonna have opening statements from, well, first we're gonna introduce the referee, which is Big Bird himself, Joe Hulbert. Then we're gonna have opening statements from Ibou and Chriso, and then we're gonna have round one, and then after round one, we're gonna have self-made announcement 1 / surprise. Then we're gonna have round 2, self-made announcement 2 / surprise, and then round 3, self-made announcement 3 and surprise. Then there's gonna be the closing statements, and then after the closing statements, we are going to announce the winner. These will be blind results to our contestants. We're not going to tell them who's in the lead or who won which round. We're not going to reveal to the chat either. So yeah, if you want to vote, how do you vote, Rob? How do you vote?
You can vote by joining the Self-Made Patreon, which will get you into the Self-Made Discord, and to vote on the Self-Made debates and any other live streams you do, like the drafts and things of that such. In the trade specials, you go to the live polls section within the Self-Made Discord
channel.
But to get to the live polls section, remember, you can get into the Self-Made Patreon in the Discord for as low as $5.
$5, best $5 in the business. Last night we had an awesome match, Rex. We watched matches. We watched anime. We watched basketball, and then after that, I'm not sure if Ibou streamed New Japan, but there was also a Stardom watch along in the Discord. We have a good time in the Self-Made Discord. So for your $20, for $5, I'm sorry, I was looking at the super chat number. For $5, it will get you in the Discord. Ibou has just informed me that he did do a New Japan Pro Wrestling catch up. Best $5 in the business, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think let's get started on these super chats while our two is debatee a fucking word? Did I just make that up? We gonna go with it. Our two debatees are in the back priming themselves, getting ready for the debate. Let's see what's going on. We appreciate everybody sending the super chat. Please like the video. Also, if you want to tweet about the debate, hashtag self-made debates. Self-made debates. Push the hashtag. Last time we trended #1 in the entire country. Can we do it again? I don't know, but I would love to see us try. Hashtag self-made debates with an S. I am Johnny Burney, $2 super chat. Win this for Belly FC Chriso.
Belly FC, as you noticed over the week, Belly Full FC has been getting a lot of support.
Belly Full FC definitely seem like the crowd favorites, but however, I want this to be I'm not the referee or anything. I'm just the host. But as a host, as a lover of debates, you know, I'd be sitting down, I'd be watching debates, bro. You know, niggas pants be off sometimes. You know, we get real into it. You feel me? I would like to see a fair fight. You feel me? If I'm saying this, you gotta take it seriously, bro. Don't agenda vote against Ibou just because you think it would be funny, right?
Yeah,
because it's gonna be hard to get niggas to do this shit in the future. If you genuinely think he lost, of course, vote against him. If you genuinely think he lost, but please don't agenda vote, bro. If you think he had the best argument, but you want to see him crash out or anything, so you vote for Chris, that's not cool, bro. But so here are what they vote, and also like obviously like we're all American. We're not all Americans. We're all pretty much Westerners here, right? So like there's gonna be a strong AEW bias, right? However, I feel like our audience is smart enough to know that you're voting for whoever you feel like got their point across the best. All right. So keep that in mind while you're casting your votes from topic to topic.
Yes.
All right. Anjan, $2 super chat. Ich ni san da shin nihan ichiban. Hashtag the Lion Roars. Shout out to Noki, man. I know he's looking up at us right now, Rob. I know Antonio Noki's looking up at us right now. He's rooting for Ibou. First time he's ever rooted for a black man to do anything in his life. Well, I guess he like Bob Sapp, right? So that's second time he's ever rooted for a black man to succeed in anything. So
hey man, you know, can Ibou get it done today for the New Japan fan base? Can he get it done? Do you believe so, AO?
Ibou, if you don't get it done, there's gonna be a lot of smarter niggas with Substacks that Bucky, $5 super chat. Ibou made a mistake by making this a debate instead of a spelling bee. Hashtag bellyful. Hashtag we want Kyrie. Hashtag Saya to the dub.
I mean, I don't know. We asked that nigga to spell something in Discord. He spelled it wrong last week, so I don't know.
Rob, did you watch Saya? Did you watch the World of Stardom title match last night?
No, I did not watch Stardom last night. I didn't catch it. What happened?
I did not. I didn't either. Saya dropped the belt, bro. Saya dropped the belt.
I heard about that. And I was informed that somebody else in Bia were the next two top contenders for the belt in Stardom.
Why are you laughing, bro? Like you're not an unironic Bia Priestley fan. You are.
Hey, man.
Salute. This nigga just trying to laugh for the aura. You love Bia.
Hey, man. Salute. She be doing her thing.
Who beat Saya? I can't say I'm familiar with her, bro. I can't say I'm familiar with her. I'm not as tapped into Stardom as I used to be.
Yeah, bro. I was super tapped in like 2-3 years ago, and then ever since, like, I was just like, hey, man, you know.
I mean, yo, man, like, you know, yeah. These are the games we play. Leo Fox, shout out to Leo, one of our great self-made mods, $2 super chat. Stummy Hurts FC got our feet kicked up for this. That's a fact.
Yo, where all the junk food FC niggas?
Yo, matter of fact, if you're Stummy Hurts, Stummy Hurt boys, stand back and stand by. We're not agenda voting. Vote for who you think is doing the best. All right. Stand back and stand by, right next to the Proud Boys.
Where have I heard?
Just right next to him. Just stand right next to the Proud Boys, bro. Is it? Rob, get these next couple of super chats, bro.
Izzy Barry, $2. Hashtag bellyful FC rise up.
It's a lot of belly full love in the soups right now, man. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe we hungry niggas is just broke as fuck. Maybe all their money goes to paying for a New Japan World sub. I don't know. All right, go ahead, Rob.
300. $2. Belly effing C. I think it's the belly full FNC or I think he meant Karl Marx, LA, $5. Apparently, Ibou does not pay his workers, so this is for Cade. Also, bless us with that Gabe Kid clam joke, Chriso.
Oh no!
Hashtag belly full. Oh no,
bro. To set the record straight, we pay Cade a lot of fucking money. We pay Cade way too much. All right. There's nobody else in this space that pays their social media / graphics guys as much as we pay Cade's fuck ass. All right. we should just enlist his ass into white slavery. That's what we should be doing. But we're ethical, God-fearing black men who take care of our own.
Christopher O'Belly, $2. This deliberation tickles my. Yo, that's not a word. That's not a word. That's not a word. That's not a word, bro. That's not a word. You can't.
Bro,
I'm looking this up right now. This is not a word, bro. Borgimes. Yeah, it's not even popping up. Yo, Pajama Zam, $2. Belly is so full. We telling the Motor City Machine Guns to kick.
Woo! I'm seeing a lot of that. I am seeing a lot of that on the timeline. I'm seeing a lot of niggas being like, "Yo, Shelly, Sabin, we're good." What do you think about that, Rob? What do you think? What do you think about AEW fans not wanting the Motor City Machine Guns? Just because they are getting a lot of love too, but you know, it's a lot of people being like, "Yo, we're good, gang."
I'm not surprised. Like you said, we talked about the other day. They had the opportunity to come, but I think people also saw what you were talking about, which was, "Hey, man, they were moving kind of crazy when they went over. They were saying some crazy stuff." So I don't know. Maybe that's why AEW fans are just like, no, like we're good, or maybe they've seen their work lately, but I don't know. So.
Has there been a drop off in their work? I mean, they barely get to.
Not that I've noticed. Like, it's not like they're terrible. Are they as good as they were like 10 years ago? Probably not. But like, it's not like a terrible.
I don't think anybody's expecting that though.
Yeah. I don't know.
I love the Machine Guns, right? I've long had them in my top 5 personal favorite tag teams all the time. Don't look for those tweets because I deleted every single one of them when they signed to WWE. However, they did exist. What the fuck? I literally took a screen recording. I started screen recording on my phone. I typed in Motor City Machine Guns on my Twitter. And then I went through all the tweets, deleted every single tweet I had praising them. Then I sent the video to Ibou, and he's just like, "Yo, you're mentally ill." I was like, "Yeah, what up?"
Like, why? Why? There was no reason. Like, why?
Hey man. Tony Khan, he stuck out his gracious hand, offered them a job, bro. They spat in his face. Poor Saint Tony, man. He ain't deserve all that. And Jan, $2 super chat. What the dog doing? Hashtag all in 2026. Hashtag and new. Hashtag Bacall. Rob, have you seen this?
No, I did not.
Nick Jackson has embraced the meme. They randomly dropped a BTE episode today, and Nick Jackson sat down and he said, "What the dog doing?" So it's official. It's official. We will be main eventing All In. We're winning the Owen. We're main eventing All In. And we're 6 years AEW title run. We're moving all the merch. We're moving the needle. What the dog doing, nigga? We're here, nigga. It's the era of Nick Jackson.
Hey man, if other niggas could win titles over getting funny phrases over, why can't?
That's what I'm saying, gang.
Riley CC, mod in the Discord, member for 4 months. If Chriso loses on Everything I Love and Wheezy, I'm giving Sprout 7 days on YouTube and Discord. Also, shout out Big Man Johnny for his engagement.
Shout out Johnny, man. Shout out Johnny. Shout out Johnny.
Shout out Johnny.
Hey, man, maybe Chriso losing is not the worst thing ever. You know, you get a little vacation from Sprouts.
Random occasion. 349 news. Is that New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, New Zealand. Hungry FC is up 3-1. Hashtag paid sponsor. Hashtag Doc Rivers. What the fuck?
Yo,
oh no.
Ibou low-key is the Doc. But he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a ring. What would Ibou's ring be? Nah, he's not Doc Rivers. He's fucking Ibou's low-key Darvingham. Izzy Berry, remember 3 months. Whoever loses got to take in Alistair Black to their home promotion.
Oh no. Yo, could you imagine the nasty shit he would try to get off in New Japan?
Yo.
Oh my God.
He would join House of Torture.
Yo, he would start.
Unironically, would join House of Torture, bro. Just so you and just so like he wouldn't have to bump that much because his back is fucked up and that ring is way stiffer than American rings. Oh no. Yo. Oh no.
That's horrifying. L under AAA Taker, $5. Chriso Bread, all of Mexico FC is fully behind you. Defeat the evil weirdo known as quote unquote Stink Boo. We're counting on you, Hefe.
I'm Undertaker, AAA Kerr. I'm noticing that you use these black emojis a lot, but you're claiming to be Mexican. That's something you and Roosh have in common, bro. Something you and Roosh have. Yo, why Roosh be using those black ass emojis?
Yeah, but I noticed that the other day. I was like, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not. That's not. Wait a minute. Musawar Khan, $5, 5 pounds, excuse me. Shout out my brother Unsamoan Joe, your boy. is here. Us Tottenham fans got to stick together. We are not getting relegated.
Well, it's always a possibility. Riley Black, $5 super chat. Riley versus Alan Cito, the biggest Ox battle in self-made history this upcoming weekend. Female artists only. Don't pull a draft moment, Chriso, and fuck up.
Oh, I remember. I know what she's talking about. The first like debate. No, it was a draft special they did. No, it was a trade special. Ibou crossed him up, and Chriso ended up losing the last round. That did happen.
Oh no. Jam. $5 Canadian. Got $10 riding on Ibou to turn back the clock and show these young fellas how he used to debate in the summer of '63.
Would Ibou have been allowed to debate in the summer of '63?
Well, I mean, you know. You ever seen that movie Great Debaters?
No, I'm not. Actually, no.
It was black debaters. That shit was in the past. What year was that? What year that? My nigga Denzel Washington, all that shit. 1935 Texas. They was debating in 1935, gang. We be debating. Jake does memes. $2 super chat. Ibou legacy game tonight. Oh no, Ibou, your entire legacy is riding on this, apparently. Entire legacy. Sex Luger, member for 4 months. We appreciate you, gang. No way a guy who debated Punk as the GOAT is the only person to defend the line. Shit.
Hey man.
It is nasty though. It is nasty because Ibou literally cried when one of the greatest not even one of the greatest New Japan pro wrestling performers of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Tetsuya Naito, when he got into the Observer Hall of Fame, Ibou cried and said he didn't have a better case than Punk. When one, he did, because he's been the biggest draw in Japan for like the last 10 years. And two, bro, the Observer Hall of Fame is segregated. Whoever gets in from the Japanese side does not affect who gets in or doesn't get in on the American side. So you just cried for no reason.
For no reason.
Over my goat. You cried for no reason. And now you want to defend the Lion? I don't know, bro. That low-key pisses me off, gang. That low-key pisses me off.
Sprouts $2. How can you say Punk better than Omega, but New Japan is your home?
Either you're gonna have to win over the people, bro. They're calling out your hypocrisy. And they're right. They're calling out your hypocrisy, bro. I can't defend you, gang. Go ahead.
279 coming in empty, but I'm leaving #bellyfullfc. Oh shit. Let's see if he can win over the people. Adam, the 199.
He finally told us. $2.
#stummy hurt. It's pronounced like vote, by the way. Okay.
I'm not gonna forget, gang. I appreciate you. Because I felt bad, bro. I always said something new every single time, bro. I was like, damn, this is fucked up, bro.
Yeah, you're just like, man, I'm just fucking this nigga's name over. Damn.
All right, bet. I'm not gonna forget. Big stummy hurt gang. Go ahead.
J Manring, $5. Just wanted to show love. This show should be fun. # what the dog doing. Hey man. Drew, a 199. I got my shirt off. Big Boo, you got this. # we hungry.
Okay, we hungry.
Okay, we got something
starting to show up. We hungry starting to show up. Lobby Warsaw, $10 super chat. Y'all see KLB versus Bishamon? Facts. Y'all see Oyo versus Euro minutes on Red Zone? Facts. Only thing moving me like that in the dub is Darby, and they're taking that belt off him in a month. # we hungry. Yeah, I was saying it in the Discord or was it a private conversation? No, I was in the Discord. I was saying, bro, KOB retook tag team of the year for me this weekend, bro. The Bucks and KOB are going meat for meat. They're just going back and forth on tag team of the year. It's unfortunate that the Bucks aren't really getting the fighters chance they deserve because there's some fucking bums doing nothing with the belts right now, fucking wrestling their daddies for the second pay-per-view in a row. But hopefully we right these wrongs so we can really get. Yo, could you imagine how crazy this tag team of the year battle would be for real if the Bucks had the fucking belts and they was the ones with the fucking focus on them in the tag division?
But FTR have to they have to get their win back over Bullet Club Gold. So that's what we gotta.
Yeah, we all waiting for that. Also, fuck Fraction, bro. That shit was so fake. That tag team of the year battle. Harley Quintari, $5 super chat. More than shitty. How can I have great matches against the system on Thursdays? # we good. # belly full. Long-time self-maders may know that, Joe Hulbert himself coined the phrase motor shitty machine bums. And I was like, come on, Joe. Come on.
Yo, come on.
I know you got this whole tribalism thing going on, but come on, man. Like these guys, come on, bro. These are all-time greats, bro. All they did for us in the business, you're gonna call them motor shitty.
We can't make one financial mistake, guys.
Like, come on, man.
We can't mess up one time, guys. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Holbert, grow up. What the fuck is your problem? Kuz, $5 super chat. If Nick wins the title, then maybe Jey Uso did do something right. Jey Uso did a lot right, bro. He deserved that world title run. It should have went longer.
I agree. Because hey, the guy who had it after. NJPN $2. Doctor Cinema Son or Bloodline Cinema Daughter. Come on, man. Which one? Never mind. I got it. Yeah, you answer that at 1 a.m.
I'll say the Death Rider Cinema has a baseline of being far less offensive, but the Bloodline Cinema has like way higher heights. I will say. That's my objective. That's my objective opinion on it.
Yeah, people were the outside audience didn't enjoy it, but like people within the verse enjoyed it. Like, the fan base did not enjoy the Death Riders.
The peaks of the Bloodline Cinema, bro. Some of that shit popped me a lot, gang. I can't lie. The Death Rider Cinema, like, I don't think they really did any cinema before Dynasty, right? They just had shitty fucking segments.
No, they just did shitty mock cinema promos where he would just be in a dark room cutting camera cuts.
Yeah, so I won't call that cinema. I'll just say it's regular promo. So yeah, I'll say Death Rider Cinema is like the baseline is much less offensive, but it doesn't have the peaks that Bloodline Cinema had. Because Bloodline cinema, bro, like the bottom of that shit is pure fucking disgusting slop. It's not even wrestling, son. The mad clan of self-made $5 super chat. The clan community is supporting Bellyful FC over Ibou. I'm Johnny Byrne, $2 super chat. Watch Ibou perfectly named New Japan Pro Wrestling stars like Zelina. Yo, shout out Zelina Vega, man. You know, it's disgusting what that bastard Sean Ross Sapp did to you. We're riding with you, Queen. Criggles.
Normalize letting wrestlers do the reporters' jobs.
Quickles, $5 super chat. If you're only loyal to one wrestling company, are you any better than a WWE fan? Hashtag we hungry. Oh shit. Chris, are you getting Elite Fleet allegations here? How will you respond? Van Himinator, $5 super chat. Going to vote ethically tonight, despite Ibou obsessive-minded tweeting regarding my Celtics when Brunson getting outperformed by Big CJ.
Yo, he's getting touched by Big CJ right now, bro. It's nasty. It's nasty.
Why he can't stay in front of him, bro? Why he can't stay in front of... Oh, I know why. Because he's fucking fat. That's why he can't stay in front of CJ McCollum. Disgusting. Bucky, $2 super chat. Timothy Bosby to the dub win. Yo, Boz is a real fucking prospect, bro. That motherfucker, he could work his ass off.
I saw that fucking overhead Germany did on the timeline, bro. Nigga.
That shit was crazy, son. And he got fucking cosign from Big Hebrew in the only way Big Hebrew knows how to fucking cosign someone, by burying them. That was cool to see, bro. That was cool to see. Shout out to Timothy Bosby, man. The mad claim of self-made $2 super chat. Shout out to Rob Topus and Bay O for holding it down, bro. Don't include me in these fucking C jokes, gang. I don't want to be part of this shit. Anyway,
octopus though.
Anyway, here's the tail of the tape. Our two competitors.
Yeah.
We have the leader of We Hungry FC. Ibou is self-made. Height 5'11". What the fuck?
That's about 10 inches too tall. 10 inches too tall.
Anyway, record 1 and 2. It's not the record's not great, Ibou. The record's not great, but can he make his way back to 500 tonight? We'll see. Hometown, New York City. Then we have the co-founder of Bellyful FC, Chriso Bread, standing at a staggering, oriful 6'2", a record of 2-0, undefeated. Hailing from H-Town, Chriso Bread. And now, me and Rob will be bowing out. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep sending in the super chats. We will be hitting those in between rounds. Please like the video. Like the video, please. And yeah, man, self-made shit, self-made forever. I will see you after round 1.
It's time, folks. It is time for the main event. Some very controversial things have already been said on this program. I could list them, but I'll just say the leader, I think, is Ibou being a New Yorker. Some lies, some debates that will maybe come back another day. But tonight, that's not our focus. Tonight, our focus is really quite simple. We Hungry. Belly Full. A contest that we have seen heat up all across the globe. We have to credit BV, God rest his soul, for starting this whole thing. Hope he's watching somewhere out there. This thing has got so heated, in fact, it even made it to the lips, the mouth of Maxwell Jacob Friedman on LNG Productions, of course, as he made his stance clear. The debate has gone left. It's gone right. If we're being honest, some of the people involved in tonight's debate, one in particular, may or may not have sold their soul in the process. I am here as a friend of both parties, a close friend, a co-host. Frankly, an admirer of both men. I want to see them both make it out safely. I'm here to do the best job I can to call it in the center of the ring, down the middle. There can only be one winner tonight, folks. We need your input for out. Please use the hashtag selfmadedebates and be ready to vote over on Discord. Use the Patreon link over on our Twitter gimmick to get involved. I think it's about time we introduce our debaters. I think so. And so, we will start with the man allegedly from New York City. He represents We Hungry FC. Ibou, how are you, sir?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here. Joe, we've had some history in this ring with you refereeing my contests. I'm going to just let you do your job. I'm going to focus on doing my job. And I'm excited to be here in front of this self-made audience. And I want to let everybody know that whether you're here supporting me or against me, thank you so much for being here in this building, supporting us on a Sunday with a lot going on, with all kinds of things that you could be distracted with. You guys chose self-made. You invited us into your homes to watch me and Chris have a spirited debate, all in the name of our love for pro wrestling. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. And I'm ready to get my record back on track, Joe, because I know I am not what my record suggests. 1 and 2.
You're not from New York or 5'11", right?
I am not a 1 and 2 debater. And today, I'm excited to give my opening statement and do what I got to do to knock this back up at 2-2. Thank you, everybody. Let's fucking go. Let's do this, man. Let's do this.
Thank you, Ibou, and I don't want to stress for all of my silliness and antics. You know we're close friends, and I'm hoping you're going to make this out okay and present yourself in a fashion befitting your talent, my friend.
Absolutely.
Speaking of talent,
yes, sir.
It's time we introduce Ibou's rival, representing Belly Full, the great Chriso Bread in the building. Chriso, you are muted. There you go. Beautiful. How are you, brother?
I'm doing really well. Just want to say, first of all, you look amazing today, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Just an amazing human being that I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm doing really well today. I spent a lot of time thinking about what I was going to say. I took some notes, but I decided that I just threw those notes away. I'm no longer going to look at the notes. What's going to come from me today is going to come from the heart. And I hope that means something to the people out there.
Yes, indeed. Now, folks, as Ibou mentioned, we're going to have an opportunity here for opening statements. Excuse me. I do want to kind of just set the stage for anyone who's new to this operation. You may be asking, and it's a fair question, quite frankly, what the fuck does it mean to be hungry or belly full? To really boil things down and simplify them, for anyone somehow not clued in on a worldwide sensation such as this, what the debate is really going to come down to tonight is who has had the better start to 2026. Ibou's going to represent New Japan Pro Wrestling, Chriso representing All Elite Wrestling. With that in mind, we're going to have some opportunity for opening statements. Ibou, I'll start with you.
Oh,
just set the stage, please.
Offer maybe Chris an opening statement here. Maybe.
No, I would like to start with you. And I would like to just say, because there was some mention of this earlier, I think it's only right we show love to our paying customers.
Yeah.
Do you have any response to the allegations that you have somewhat lost sight of the true cause that was We Hungry and have actually just become a sycophant for New Japan Pro Wrestling? If you can work that into your statement, that'd be wonderful. Take it away.
No, so We Hungry is rooted in the love,
right,
passion, and really belief in this industry as a whole. This is an industry that is capable of so much from so many different people. And to me, New Japan is at the forefront representing hope, representing almost a counterculture, because we have been living in a duopoly. And at the very core fundamental principle of We Hungry, it's a quest. It's a desire for more, for knowledge, for satiation, for wrestling of different kinds all across this globe. And it is through New Japan that I'm given a sense of belief that this can be maintained and continued. Because if you love wrestling, you're never full, Joe. If you love wrestling, you're never satisfied by watching one promotion. It doesn't matter how much that promotion provides you from a content standpoint. When you love this business, when you love this industry, you want more. And thanks to New Japan, you're given that belief. I open, folks, with this. In a wrestling landscape where the big two currently wield the most power, finances, and influence, a reemergent New Japan Pro Wrestling has been the antidote to the monotonous two-horse race that we have been existing under. Following a roster exodus and the retirement of the greatest wrestler of all time, the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi, New Japan finds themselves, folks, in a situation where their product is surging, and it is thanks to an extremely talented crop of young wrestlers who are all coming into their own at the right time. The promotion has a very clear roster hierarchy, and every single talent has role clarity, which is very important for a wrestling promotion. There is no confusion as to the express purpose of any given belt or matchup booked on any of the tours. It's extremely creatively purposeful at the moment, and it has been a point of emphasis to make new stars. America, I tell you that New Japan is the best wrestling promotion thus far in 2026 because it offers a lot of variety and they tell emotionally resonant ongoing stories up and down the card. Emphasis on up and down the card, not just in one specific spot. More on that later, folks. They book effective results that deliver a sense of progression to the stories while keeping you on the hook to see where things go next. That's a delicate needle to thread, Joe, and one that no other promotion does quite as well as New Japan this year. In terms of generating optimism for the future, delivering on numerous exciting personal rivalries, and offering the viewer clarity on who and what to hone in on at any given moment, and putting on explosive, memorable, and emotional big matches, New Japan has been ahead of the pack this year.
Thank you, Ibou. Appreciate the clarification and your opening statement. I don't want to have all cards on the table here, folks. I was a member of We Hungry. For a moment, I was run off by, frankly, a radical leader, but I did appreciate the sentiment there from Ibou. Chriso, your opening statement, sir. Take it away.
Yes. First of all, amazing opening statement by you, Ibou. I decided to do peaceful gimmick for this debate. But also opening statement for me. You say that you're giving a speech to America. Well, I'm representing America's company. I'm keeping it here where I was born and raised in the greatest country in the world. Forget everything that's happening in the political climate of this country, and just let's just keep it wrestling, right? All Elite Wrestling has been an escape for a lot of people, including myself. When the year started, I wasn't in the best place mentally. A lot of stuff was going on in my life. And, I was like, dang, just there's not a lot for me to do, to really clear my mind. And then Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the world champion of All Elite Wrestling, just decided that he was going to go beast mode and he was going to rise to the occasion. And with Maxwell, the company itself rose to an occasion that we haven't seen in quite some time. And I do agree. It's good to, love all different types of wrestling. But for me, I get every type of wrestling I would want in AEW. We have amazing luchadors. Some say the best luchadors in the world with Bandito, Mystico, Hologram, Cologne, Commander, yeah, Persephone. It's a lot actually. And then you got, you want, some good old fashioned technical wrestling. We have that too. We have high flyers. We have amazing people who tell stories via Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I think we have everything that you would want out of a pro wrestling company. And, I don't think it's, a coincidence that a lot of wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling are leaving at this time, whether it's to AEW or to the World Wrestling Entertainment. I just think that management and that company and the way things are going, I feel like people see the writing on the wall, and I'm just glad that we have such a gracious, humble, and philanthropist owner in Tony Khan who does everything to, better the lives of his wrestlers. Something that we haven't seen in wrestling since maybe ever. To be honest, you see all these people talking about how much they love Mr. Khan. And just in my opening statement, I just want to say that I respect everyone's opinion on what they like in wrestling, but we just do it a little better down here in Jacksonville.
Very, very interesting start. You can feel the audience shifting back and forth here as they hear those opening statements. Folks, here's how this is going to work. There are 3 questions that will be asked. We'll hear from both debaters on those questions. After each question, the aforementioned Discord, you're going to head there, you're going to vote. While you are voting, we're going to get to those super chats. So if you have chats, no need to pause. You can send them our way throughout the program here. We will get to them in between the questions, and we have some announcements to go with those. So stick with us, but I think, fellas, it would make a lot of sense that we dive into one of those 3 questions, because tonight we're going to be looking at which promotions told the best stories so far this year. We're going to look at who's the best and better matches, and finally, I think as Ibou's kind of already alluded to, a big one for him, who is making stars, elevating talent. Let's start naturally. Question number 1. I'm going to stick with Chriso to start here so it can rotate back and forth. All right, fellas?
Okay.
Which promotion has been telling better stories? We're going to hear an opening message from Chris on this, hear the same from Ibou, and then we can get some back and forth in terms of picking apart one another's arguments. Chris, I start with you. Which promotion has been telling better stories in 2026 thus far? Take it away.
Well, I think the answer is undeniably All Elite Wrestling with the stories. I feel like with New Japan, it's a lot of contained things when it comes to their younger wrestlers, which is a great thing. But when it comes to AEW, we have stories from the tag division all the way to the main event division. Even the mid card division has a lot of great stories that we are telling right now. And I want to go back to Maxwell Jacob Friedman and the story of how he elevated the main event scene, and the story about how everyone wants the AEW World Championship. It's still going today, but Max started that when he won at World's End going into 2026, and it's been awesome, to see everyone gun for that title. It was awesome seeing Hangman Adam Page and Maxwell Jacob Friedman do their parallel storyline where they both saw themselves in each other, and I think that was a very underrated part of that storyline. I know it wasn't for everybody seeing these two go at it again, but for me, two people who I think encapsulate the spirit of AEW the most, maybe the most out of anybody in the company. Seeing their ideologies go head to head against each other was a very intriguing thing to see. With Max's ideology in the end getting over and winning, and then you just have it where when you have the big dog of your company, which is Max, just have so much gravity to where everything revolves around him. And some people might say that's a disadvantage to storylines or to a company in general. But to me, having a center of gravity, and that center of gravity being so big, so strong, to where everything comes in and elevates it. I know a lot of people weren't happy that Darby Allin won the world championship. Maybe didn't think he was the right fit at the time. The business is the best it's been in years. The ratings are the best it's been in years. But at the end of the night, I feel like everyone, even people who weren't super excited to see this change, said, wow, the story that they told from Max versus Omega, where Max was AFK all days after Dynasty, so he didn't even know the match was happening, and that played into Darby's winning, and it played into Max as a character and how he's so arrogant and cocky, and yeah, man, I think Max is definitely the biggest storyteller in wrestling today. He doesn't have to sacrifice his in-ring ability to do that. He doesn't have to yell in the ring about this, yell in the ring about that. He can communicate through his moves and through his body language that, hey, I'm telling a story. Well, he is a real actor, so that obviously helps him. He's been in some big pictures. Happy Gilmore 2 was amazing. But yeah, that's not the only story. The story with the Young Bucks and FTR was pretty brief, about a month-long story. But I feel like everyone could feel the bad blood in that storyline with Dax and Cash going after their family. We had all those emotional video packages of how much Matt and Nick love their families and how much they would do to go out there and avenge what happened to their brother and their father and their mother and all that. And it ended with a very emotional match with a bloody match that was deserved of blood. And sometimes at the end of the day, the good guys don't always win. And FTR ended up winning that match. But I think the storyline from the tag team division, that specifically, it's been a little shaky, as of recently. But that storyline was awesome. The match was awesome. Um, the redemption of Jack Perry has been one of my favorite storylines. I know it might be something that people are like, what are you talking about? But Jack went through so much. He got ostracized from the fan base. People hated him for a while. He came back. He had a pretty decent feud with Ricochet, which ended up with him winning the national championship, obviously. But I saw as a redemption that, hey, I'm gonna retake this Jungle Jack Perry name. I'm gonna come back there and find myself, find what I need to do to make the fans happy. And it's been I think a very big success outside of ring work. Yeah, that it's been one of my favorite storylines. Oh my God, how could I forget Mercedes Moné? I mean, yes, a lot of this didn't take place in the company, but it started in the company with her loss to Willow Nightingale.
Chris, we have to keep it to 2026. I apologize. We have to keep it to 2026. Be wary of that, please.
Yes,
very, very
important.
Yeah,
that is a great, great point there. But yeah, I just think the storylines in AEW are more, what's the word? Just breathable for people, and everything doesn't have to be in-ring stuff. Everything doesn't have to be about coming of age of new stars or whatever,
Okay.
And I just think, what we have right now, especially in our main event scene, has been amazing.
Thank you, Chriso. Okay, here's this going to work. Ibou, I want you to focus on why your, answer, New Japan Pro Wrestling, is the correct answer. And then I would like you to transition into responding to Chriso's arguments. Once you have done that, Chriso will respond in kind. Does that work for you, Ibou?
That works for me.
Okay, keep those punches up, kid. Get going here. Come on. Boom.
Yeah, look, stories are very important in pro wrestling. And for all the debates that we see, on your day-to-day timeline about them and the nature of stories, the truth is they exist in most mediums that we consume. And why I love wrestling and why I'm always going to be hungry is because it's a medium that just speaks to us on a primal level. And through the physicality that you get in pro wrestling, it produces an art that can imitate life. Like, Joe, pro wrestling can make you laugh. It can make you cry. It can sometimes break your heart. But at the same time, it can be triumphant. It's a magic that in a lot of ways it emulates, and it's similar to the feeling you get from sports, except in pro wrestling, it's the promotion that's the author. And New Japan is aptly named the king of sports because they are adept at curating that type of drama and magic that you get when you watch sports. And when you know what you're watching, which most discerning adults do, and our audience is an audience full of smart, discerning adults, there are stories up and down the card for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I said at the top of my first statement, the greatest wrestler of all time, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of the promotion and the president, retired. And in his wake, Joe, has been a roster-wide arms race to take his position. And through that, you have been seeing young athletes fight and battle, and you've been seeing pride and guts. You're seeing gut check situations from people who have been behind the eight ball. You've seen who has been, no pun intended, hungry to take the spot. And that has resulted in so many fun interpersonal dynamics between the entire roster. And through that have been so many emerging sub-stories that have come from it. Sub-stories that continue to be enriched on a show-by-show basis because the story doesn't end one night. There's always a continued chase and journey for championship gold or for spots. And you're seeing people fight for pride, for spots, for dignity, for respect, for position. And the big theme for New Japan this year, since we're talking about stories, you have to then make a thematic analysis of what's happening on a broader stage. The big theme of New Japan's stories have been progression and ascension. Shota Umino has been on a journey of self-discovery. Joe, this is a young wrestler that was prematurely anointed by this promotion and was the laughingstock of the Japanese media and the fandom and the online wrestling fans a year ago on January 4th and 5th when he failed in the main event of the Tokyo Dome against Zack Sabre Jr. Not only did he fail to win his match, but he also just wasn't respected or believed. And in wrestling, belief is everything. He didn't believe in who he was, and the audience did not believe in him. And now fast forward a year later, Joe, we have seen his progress because he has now been lapped by the likes of Ryohei Oiwa, by the likes of Yuto Ice. And that's where the pride comes in, because he joined up with another guy who is a dojo mate, a peer of his in Yuya Uemura. And through their mutual mediocrity, they banded together in the hopes of finally maybe being able to produce something tangible to show for their time in the company. And that led to an incredible rivalry with Yuto Ice and Oscar. Enter Yuto Ice, a man that wasn't a chosen one, a man that wasn't prematurely anointed. He didn't have all the plaudits and pageantry coming into New Japan like a Shota Umino or other guys like that. A guy that got injured by Yuya Uemura, a dojo mate. He carries that anger and that animosity with him. He's not the cleanest wrestler. He's not the tallest athlete. But he has an anger and spitefulness to how he carries himself. And on January 5th, Joe, New Japan had New Year Dash. And that show set the table for everything that we've seen since. And it was on that night that he declared to the Japanese public that I don't kiss babies. I don't shake the hands of women and children. I'm me. And I may not be the ace, but I'm going to give you a pro wrestling high because everything I do with my heart. And we got a rivalry between KOB and Yuya and Shota that has been nothing but guts and emotion and pride. And you watch their wrestling matches knowing that the end result is going to be crippling for the loser because it's not about just championship gold. It's about your dignity and your personal standing. And coming at a new beginning, Yuya and Shota lost. They lost. In spite of the progression that they made, they lost. And coming out of that, Yuya and Shota parted ways going into the New Japan Cup, which is big. And in that cup, Shota had to show for where he's come to this point. And we got to see it, Joe, because in the New Japan Cup, he made it back to Zack Sabre Jr., the man that he could not beat at the Dome. And with a renewed sense of confidence and purpose, he beat Zack this time. Speaking of Zack, he currently leads the best stable in pro wrestling, TMDK, the mighty Don't Kneel. And among the wrestlers in that group is his young protege, Ryohei Oiwa. And here's the thing about progression in stories. You want to show a sense of progression within your roster, but you don't want to blow everything off because you want to keep your audience on the hook for what's next. You want to keep them on the hook for maybe a G1 or another future bout. He beat Ryohei Oiwa in a tremendous match. And that tells your viewer, Oiwa's close, but he's not there yet. Back on the point of progression. Hirooki Goto was your champion last year, Joe. He was somebody that Wrestling Dontaku, he beat Callum Newman, an emerging young star within the United Empire. And now at this New Japan Cup, Callum Newman, who has ascended, who defeated David Finlay and kicked him out of New Japan, he beat Goto this time in the New Japan Cup. This is a company that is very purposeful with their storytelling. And the most important thing about stories is not just engaging people and making them care, but achieving something. What is being achieved with these stories? You're elevating and ascending talent, which again, that's a topic.
Come up. Yeah,
it'll come up. But for this point here,
absolutely.
When it comes to narrative gravity, we're seeing the fruits of the roster-wide arms race when it comes to the stories being told. Again on progression, Yuya Uemura defeats Shingo Takagi, a wrestler that he never beat in the company before. Back to storytelling. You're looking at the different rivalries, the interpersonal dynamics. Yuto Ice hates Yuya Uemura. He hates Ryohei Oiwa. He looks at Oiwa, Joe, and he sees the All-American, the perfect athlete. He's tall, he's strong, he's technically proficient, right? He's the guy that the company, he's the guy that you want, dating your daughter, so on and so forth. And he thinks he's a fucking pussy, which is why in every match that they have, he challenges him to his type of fight, a firefight, a fight of physicality, right? And Oiwa has no interest in engaging with this, which is why in their ongoing saga, it doesn't really matter who wins or loses because Yuto Ice is trying to prove I'm tougher than this guy. And you're seeing how that goes on. And I'll say this, Joe, when it comes to these New Japan stories, I made the point that it's roster wide because it is. It's not just a Yuto Ice thing, even though Ice has been the spark that has ignited so many different flames within the company. But it's even down to Oleg Boltin, who has found more of himself. And he's begun to team with Bishamon. And they have been able to win the trios belts. And you get all kinds of fun dynamics that come out of that. It's the hard knock life situation that Aaron Wolf finds himself in. People can argue about the creative merits of the usage of Aaron Wolf, but
let's start winding down, Ibou. Thank you.
Sure.
Yep.
A story is being told with him in terms of finding his way in a completely different sport and figuring it out. And slowly but surely, Joe, in these small little road to tags that may seem perfunctory or irrelevant to another person, he's finding ways to overcome the cheating, the nonsense. He's finding better allies to link up with. Okay. And in response to Chriso Bread's claims about AEW stories, because I was instructed that I have to respond to him.
Let's stop there. You were right. I'm going to change my instructions. These were quite extensive statements. So for the sake of time and for the sake of everyone's entertainment, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust you guys as veteran prize fighters, okay?
Okay.
I suggest we go a little bit freestyle now that both men have made their statements. Okay. And we have a little back and forth action. Does that sound good to you guys? Can I trust you to fight inside?
Sure, but can I open up with the response that I was planning?
You can open, and then we'll get back and forth because I think that's best for everyone watching at home. Go for you start, and we'll go back and forth.
So I would not argue with Chris that MJF is having a tremendous year. He is the straw that stirs the drink in all elite wrestling. But what I would make the argument is that a lot of their creative and narrative success has been heliocentric. It has been built around Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Whereas in New Japan Pro Wrestling, there are stories to find and be engaged with up and down the show with the various players that are involved. I didn't even mention guys like Yota Tsuji, who is the absolute moon of the company. But let's talk about AEW stories for a second, right? Okay.
And then when you do, let Chris respond, please.
Sure. Konosuke Takeshita has been embroiled in a months-long program with Kazuchika Okada, and his creative has been so inconsistent that it's almost hard to get a read on what Takeshita as a character is made of. And it has at times confused and bewildered the audience. It has cooled him off considerably to the point where he was a wrestler that at one point had heavy consideration by the fans as a future champion. And I'm not sure that same sentiment still exists right now. And to not belabor him, I'm going to just move on to another case of this.
Okay, give one more example. I want to let Chris respond. One more example. Keep it brief. Come on, Ibou. What you
Jon Moxley.
Okay.
Was in a situation where the audience believed that the Death Riders were going to turn on him, but he did not go in that direction, and he won the C2 as a babyface. And we now have a complicated situation where Will Ospreay has returned to enact revenge on Jon Moxley, but Jon is non-committal to any one specific role as a good guy or a bad guy, and that has, in my opinion, harmed the storytelling of the Death Riders, and it has harmed Jon's positioning when it comes to his story with Will Ospreay because of how non-committal he is. And throughout underneath AEW, when you look underneath the carpet, MJF to me is a beautiful carpet. And underneath the carpet, there is a lot of dust when it comes to inconsistent, narratively cohesive stories. And I have one more, but again, out of respect for Joe and the audience and Crystal Bread, I'll
That
let Chris give a response.
I think that's the best thing. Okay, Chriso, let's specifically focus in on the Moxley and Takeshita critiques in terms of what they represent in terms of AEW's overall storytelling this year, Chriso. Go for it from there, and feel free to rally with a response of your own. Go for it.
Oh yeah, of course. I would definitely agree with you with the Takeshita point. I think the start of the year, Takeshita's creative was mind-boggling to a lot of fans, especially me. And I feel like recently though, I feel like them taking more of a comedy, just not buddy rivalry, but big brother, little brother type rivalry has been, maybe the best thing they could have done to almost salvage this storyline that didn't start out. It started off amazing actually, but that was a year ago. How it started the year off, and I really do like the direction that they're going. Recently with this, I can do anything better than you type thing. With the Kesha finally growing some balls, and not letting Okada fucking bully him. And with Moxley, I would have to disagree. With Moxley and him not being able to, pick a lane when it comes to this feud with Ospreay. I think he's definitely a heel right now. I think he's very much someone who, when Ospreay came back, said, "All right, I'll play my role. Ospreay's the biggest babyface in the company, maybe. I'll play my role." And he's been playing his role, in my personal opinion. With the way he's been targeting Ospreay's neck, I think the next storyline, some people think it's a little overbearing. And I don't know. I think the man came back from surgery, and it's a big point. It's a real big point in his real life. So I think bringing it in to the storyline is very much needed. And I think his selling in most of his matches has been pretty good. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of it, but I think what Ospreay's been doing, especially with this Mark Davis match that happened this week with him, finally reaching his breaking point when it comes to his neck, it has been an awesome thing to see. And if I can, Joe, I would like to get into some of the, it was interesting listening to you and talk about these storylines. You didn't talk about the world champion, who was world champion for most of this year, Yota Tsuji, which was very weird to me. And I think I know the reason, because he didn't have any storylines. He won the belt from Takeshita and then just had matches. He was just a match guy. Hey, and some people like that. But to me, my world champion he can't just be a match guy. There's nothing of substance that was in Yota Tsuji's reign. And it was pretty much all this year, And then he just lost to Callum Newman with no build-up. He just lost. And, to me, a tournament isn't enough build-up for the man who won the belt at Wrestle Kingdom to just lose. And he's off the face of the earth now,
With all love and respect, Chris, this is a tourist take. This is a tourist take. So, Yota Tsuji,
carry on.
Yota Tsuji is an excellent young champion, and if anything, sure, but if anything, Yota Tsuji is an example that most people should realistically aspire to be, because he was a young wrestler that waved the flag for his home promotion to a militant degree, unwavering, unflappable, unshaken in his conviction to be a top wrestler for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And going into the Tokyo Dome, he faced an outsider and he waved the flag to beat the outsider. And he was determined on Tanahashi's big night to be the guy that television audience saw as the person you can rely upon to be a healthy and steady hand righting the ship for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he got the job done, winning the big match against Konosuke Takeshita. Following that, Chris, here's the thing you need to understand. When it comes to New Japan, we tell sports stories. Again, it's not we don't adhere to heliocentrism, nor do we do the thing where it's like our story is you had sex with my wife and I am upset with you and I now have to fight you. That's not what's happening. Yota Tsuji is an evolving human being. He's a person that is developing as a champion and as an ace.
He's not a champion anymore. He's not an ace anymore.
He's not champion anymore, but he is an ace. You want to know why he's
fuck all in his reign.
Let me
sorry for the language, Joe.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the profanity. So what I'm saying here is he is still an ace because in spirit, Chris, he is the person that is the furthest along out of the young wrestlers. And beyond just being that, he was somebody that took on all comers. He was embroiled in a feud with the United. He was embroiled in a feud with the United Empire. And you talk about how there was no buildup to his loss. The entire New Japan Cup was the buildup, because in the New Japan Cup, it was very clear that somebody was going to take the reins and take the mantle and be ready to catch Yoda slipping. And unfortunately, he was caught slipping because of a couple interferences. Among them were outsiders. Gabe Kidd.
No,
Like I said, we tell overarching thematic stories. And here, his downfall, Yoda Tsuji's downfall, was not watching his back for an outsider. Another thing that's been very consistent with Yoda Tsuji's characterization is the fact that he is not the sun. That's Yuya. He's the moon. He's colder. He's not quite as inviting. He's not quite as inviting to back up and help from other baby faces. And that bit him in the ass here. And he's going to have to now embrace the help of his fellow New Japan peers. And because we tell overarching stories, that is a plot point that is going to come into focus coming into Forbidden Door season. Because more than just the IWGP Championship, the thing that Tsuji loves more than that, more than life itself, is New Japan Pro Wrestling and the flag. And that's why he's going to enter a diversion, and that diversion is the outsiders. So there has been buildup, and there has been a story told there with his title loss. And beyond any of that, he's been fighting United Empire all year, and he made it through their lieutenants, their lower-end commanders, their losers like Jake Lee. But the one guy that has been ascending to the top is the one that caught him lacking. And so he's now going to have to deal with the outsiders to then get back to getting a rematch with Callum Newman, which is a story that they're telling right now on the Dontaku tour.
Okay. I want to now open the floor one last time here. Are there any arguments that you won't be able to sleep tonight if you don't get this established before the people vote when it comes to stories?
One last story.
2026 so far. Okay, so Ibou has one. Chriso, do you have one, or would you just simply like
I
respond?
do have one.
Okay, we'll go Chriso, and we'll go back to Ibou. Okay, Chriso, take it away.
Yeah.
Chris, okay.
Yeah.
House of Torture is you said TMDK is the big faction, not just in New Japan but in wrestling, but House of Torture is running New Japan. They have 2 championships. 2 of their members are champions. They are involved in almost every scene in the company right now. And you bring up these young guys. No, Rin Narita, he's a champion right now. And House of Torture has been doing the same thing for years, and they're not changing. Nothing has changed with House of Torture. Nothing has gotten better. They have actively tanked Aaron Wolf's career, and that's just all I want to say. Just House of Torture is running around.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. I respect that comment that you made about the House of Torture. What I would say is that you made a creative complaint rather than a story one. And what I would tell you is that since we're talking about stories, what I would say is that from a creative standpoint, from a narrative standpoint, they have used the House of Torture to tell stories with some of these talents that they have been ascending. Because again, like I told you, the word of the day is ascension and progression. And we are learning who these young wrestlers are and what they're made of and how they handle this very inconvenient existence of this nuisance of a group. The House of Torture are without question overbearing, annoying, tough to deal with.
Okay, but we do have to be fair. This isn't just about telling stories, it's better stories. So the fact they are telling a story doesn't necessarily make it a good one or a better one.
Referee, this is why you were the best in the game. That's why we pay you the big bucks. I respect that. My response to that is this. Aaron Wolf is quietly becoming a better wrestler and earning the respect of the crowd on these very small shows where he is very slowly, Joe, match by match. It went from he gets pulled to the outside and they pin another guy to he's now involved in the finish. And now he's protecting his teammates. And now he's getting the better of a Narita in a tag. He's now getting the pinfalls of a tag. These are slow steps en route to him getting his wins back on everybody in the group. And speaking of wins back in the group, my main man, Oleg Bolton, is an Olympian. And he has found solace and camaraderie with Aaron Wolf. And basically, what has happened is, oh my God, 2 shooters have realized, like, man, wrestling is really a different type of beast here. Maybe we got to lean on each other to take care of these fucking assholes. And now Wolf has found a friend in Oleg Bolton. And guess what, Joe? Coming up at Wrestling Dontaku, Oleg Bolton has made his way all the way back up to fighting Ren Narita. for the never open weight championship. And I'm telling you now, as a spoiler alert to our audience, he's going to overcome and beat Ren Narita. And when he does it on a big stage, it's going to show that he has passed a major test as a wrestler within the scheme of New Japan. The comment I want to make to Chris is this.
Okay.
Swerve Strickland is somebody that I really respect. He's a talented main event wrestler, but he is among the top wrestlers in AEW whose motives are very, very inconsistent, and they're all over the place. At one point, he comes back and says he's coming back for his gold. He's coming back to be a champion. He's a character that opened up this year prioritizing a newfound friendship with Hangman Page and talking about how he wants to be the champion. But then there are other places where he's more big on just humiliating MJF. You have a situation where he sat in the middle of the ring, guys, and I want to make this clear to everybody. A character who supposedly was obsessed with championship gold. He said, it's not about the AEW championship. I don't want the AEW championship. What I want more than anything is power. And he was seeking the power of Kenny Omega, who was an EVP. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to inconsistent stories, because EVP power has been creatively irrelevant on screen. When it comes to internal logic that is displayed on the show, Kenny Omega has never waved or flexed this EVP power in any way that is beneficial to him as an athlete on the show. This is not an on-screen story that Swerve is playing on. And beyond that, as a viewer, it's almost a betrayal to us as a viewer to tell us that the most important prize, the belt, is less important than a position that holds no weight on the show. And so that's a major player dismissing the world title in favor of power that has no resonance or weight on the show. And I wanted to point that out because that was a huge narrative and storytelling blunder that did nothing but undercut what should be a major matchup between two main event guys. And in New Japan Pro Wrestling this year, Joe, there's been no matchup between two main eventers where beforehand they told a story that was just inconsistent with everybody's portrayals and undercut the match that you were about to watch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Final call. For any points, are we happy to send this to the poll? Okay.
I'm good.
We'll send this to the poll. We're going to bring our host back. I do want to stress, folks, in premier prize fights, the early rounds, you often see a lot of jabbing. You'll see a lot of fainting.
Can I make one more sentence, please?
I don't think so. I think it's been clear that we're established.
Okay.
I do have to stress, this is showbiz, and I think it would be good in the following two rounds if our opening statements are somewhat abbreviated and we get to some back and forth action and some exchanges of punches. Look, the debate's important, but we need to be entertaining here, folks. We're going to send it to the poll. We're going to bring our host back up. We have some super chats to work through. Bear with us here, folks. We are working through an electrifying contest. I think we're just getting warm, quite frankly. We hope you're enjoying the stream. Please do like the stream. The poll is going to be set up as we speak here. If you want to vote, head to the self-made Discord. And you can join that, of course, Ibou, with the Patreon link, right, in our Twitter account, right? And sign up, $5. Get in the Discord. And have a vote and see, we'll decide here later on who wins this thing as round one comes.
The poll is up, Joe.
The poll is up?
Yep.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. Okay, I think our hosts are ready to come back up. And again, folks, I don't want to stress, early round, some jabs, some feeling out. I think we're going to see here shortly some more dynamic action in rounds 2 and 3. We have some super chats, and we shall bring our host back into the fold as our beautiful graphics change. Fellas, this contest is now underway, and mixed responses from our audience, fair to say.
Chat, I'm back. Rob, you here?
Yes, I'm here. I just took my shirt.
Word. It's very above the belt round 1. I'm hoping to see some more dirty fighting in the future rounds. Chriso, I wasn't expecting you to play it so fair. Just play it so, But people grow, people evolve. Maybe just not the nigga I thought you was. I thought you was on Pierce. Probably, maybe not. Hey, bro, Russell Pierce Worldwide runs on Mondays. Anyway, so we have an announcement to make, and we have super chats. We have 3 announcements, right? They're going to go from order of least exciting, I think, to most exciting, but I think they're all exciting. So announcement number 1 is Double or Nothing Self-Made Kings of New York weekend. Where myself, Chriso, Ibou, Cade, BV. Who else? Is that it for Self-Made? Yeah, that is it. We will be hosting 3 days of activities for everybody who is self-made that is coming. You don't need to be a member of the Discord. You don't need to be a capo or anything. If you're self-made, if you want to kick it with us, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, we're going to the House of Glory show in the New York City Arena in Jamaica, Queens. Saturday, we are doing a self-made meetup. We are trying to determine the best place to do it in Texas. The boys did Top Golf. Is likely going to be a lot more people this time around. So we're still trying to find a venue. When we get that, we will communicate it to you guys as soon as possible. Sunday, we will be doing a group lunch, venue to be decided, to be determined, and then we will all be heading to Double or Nothing. I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be a ton of fun. We told y'all when 2026 started, we were gonna be doing a lot more community shit, and this is gonna be the start of that. So let's get into these super chats. Rob?
Johnny Big Man, $5. Thank you to all the self-maders that wished me a happy engagement yesterday. Mr. and Mrs. Big Man coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Draft got me pumped for fall. # bolt up.
Hell
Shout out to Johnny Big Man. I'm happy it went well. Happy it went well.
Yosai, member for 2 months. Ibou doesn't watch Stardom, TJPW, CMLL, DDT, TNA, or nothing. Just the Fed and New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's not hungry. He's a fucking picky eater.
Well, Yosai, my response to you was I didn't see you in the Discord watching Stardom last night, but you know who was in Stardom last night's Discord? It was me. I was watching that show.
Shit.
Speaking of which, folks, if you want to watch a great women's match, you're not going to find it in AEW, but Suri and AEW's Megan Bain.
Whoa. We're between rounds right now. Let's keep that. That was crazy.
No,
okay,
that was nasty.
Bet. See what happened. Bet.
Wow.
Bet.
No, I'm just.
You could have made the point about that shot after the bell.
Woo!
The hosts are in charge right now.
Bet that. Oh,
That's the energy I wanted to see.
Yeah, I like it. Bet that. Chriso and beer coming. Bet that.
Oh yeah, MJF tweeted at me under our advertisement tweet, asking,
"What do you say?
New Japan is still a thing?"
Shit, I don't even know. Shit.
Yo, Max, bro, you have to worry about what the Jets about to do to you this Wednesday.
That's a fact.
All right. Bucky, $2 super chat. Chriso forgetting to bring up that ops story.
Yeah, I'm glad Ibou didn't bring that up. I can't lie.
Yeah, come on, man. It's a good storyline, bro. Anthony Bowens is in the ops now.
I'm telling y'all, man.
I told you that there was no vacancies in the ops.
Under that carpet, there are a lot of
between rounds, my nigga.
Hebrew is.
You gotta do something, right?
This is. Yeah. We need a very different fight when we ring the bell for the next round. I'm going to leave it at that, but we'll carry on here with this chat.
All right. Hey man, that our storyline, gang. I don't know. Joe's back, so let's see where it goes. But and obviously I don't really watch Fed television, but I rate shit in AEW a lot more harshly because like I want everything to be good. So when it's terrible, like bro, that's my front runner for Observer worst storyline of the year right now. It's unfortunate because Bowen's is going back-to-back years for worst storyline of the year.
Poor guy.
I'm sure there's like 10 things in WWE that's way worse, bro. But I'm not watching this.
What McAfee's got that locked, bro?
Oh yeah. McAfee.
That angle was so bad. He quit. He was like,
he quit the business.
He quit the business.
Bowens shouldn't have dubbed Jace.
Oh,
what happened to you, nigga?
Musa Khan, £2 super chat. Unsamoan Joe is greater than Hebner, Lil Nate, and Red Shoes Uno.
That's a
I
fact.
agree. I agree.
Yo, Joe hit me with the, hey man, is a story equal a good story?
Yeah, I didn't expect to have to do the Bernard Hopkins. This is entertainment, guys. Let's get some punches thrown here.
We're kind of like avoiding each other.
Yeah.
Bro, just two guys at a big UFC show just wrestle fucking each other. Everybody's just booing.
We need
Oh,
some
yo,
action,
Ibou,
boys.
by the way, look at your
Reyes
look at your phone, bro.
Walker.
Look at
It's
look
like
at
your
iMessage,
average
Ibou.
strawweight main event.
Check my phone.
Yeah, look at iMessage.
What happened?
I got you.
Super Saiyan 4 Hungry. $5 super chat. Got here just as the debate began. Had my first day of pro wrestling training today, and as my class, they said we hungry. Hashtag support queer women's wrestling. Shout out to
Incredible
you, Super
super
Saiyan
chat.
4 Hungry.
Hell yeah.
Hope it went well. Hope it went well. Much success to you in your career.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Stay hungry.
Ken Hud, $2 super chat. And Boo, why are you 4'9"? Don't lie this week.
I'm
Even would
5'11".
you, I mean, that's just not true.
I actually have doctor proof of it.
Bro, I would say your brother is like 5'11".
No, he's like 6.
Nah, he's like 5'11". He's like 3 inches taller than you, gang.
All right, man.
Agree.
Oh my god.
You a petite nigga, gang. It's okay.
That super chat that just came in. Oh my god.
Chi-Town Spurs, $5 super chat. Even doing more time wasting than a Mike Arteta coached side.
Chi-Town's just mad I didn't like the Moxley Daredevil segment last night.
Mikel Arteta, football reference there from Chi-Town.
I'm a shitty footy fan. I can't lie. Riley Black, $50 super chat. We appreciate you, Riley. Chriso, listen to me. Don't let this 5'6" Cody fan bully you, son. New Japan Pro Wrestling is broke. They need AEW to fill out their big shows. Tanahashi retired against an AEW star. This company is on its ass. Don't let him bully you, son. We hungry begs for AEW scraps. Oh, wow.
Shit, we need to get Riley a StreamYard link.
Oh, wow. Hey, Riley's having the energy I thought Chriso was going to have.
Riley, that was a pep talk I needed to get
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Oh, shit. Has Chriso been awoken?
He needs the Teddy Atlas, Tim Bradley speech in the corner, right? Put the fire out. We are firemen.
I got some. We got some, Riley. Trust.
I'm Johnny Bernie, $2 super chat. Ibou trying to beat Cory Booker filibuster record. Ibou, there was a lot of filibustering. There was a lot of filibustering.
I looked, we were 15 minutes into Ebu's monologue, and he goes, I got one more, but I'll let it go. I was like, fuck, man, one more.
Oh, my God. And to stay on, again, Michael's so dope, $2 super chat. Oh, brother, back up Yap, man.
Fuck.
That nigga was yapping.
Advocate for Enochiism, $5 super chat. What is the point of cooling off Aaron Wolf? You talk about him winning over touring crowds, but he was the hottest thing in the company in years. Hey, man.
Hey.
I don't want to sway people one way or the other,
Right.
but I just feel like, bro, what they've done to Aaron Wolf, there's no
It's all
excuse
stories,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, you know. Danny Denied, $2 super chat. Watching New Japan Pro Wrestling at 3 a.m. with Ibou and Juice was a vibe.
Yeah, man. Listen, at the end of the day, we have a promotion here that attracts women and young people.
All right.
And this is what we do, you know?
Okay. While our hosts are here, before we get to round 2, I want us to establish this now.
Yeah.
I want to stress again. I'm going to take both fighters to the middle. This is entertainment, this is show business. There will be room for an opening statement which you make your arguments. If we can keep those somewhat tight in terms of runtime, and then we leave time for some fireworks and some back and forth bravado and shenanigans, that would be wonderful for everyone, I think.
Joseph, I want a sequence. I'm crying.
I'm just, look, I don't want to speak for the audience, but I feel like I'm speaking for them right now. You know, this is box office, right? You know, this is
Joe feels like he's watching a New Japan match right now. We gotta.
He owed you that receipt. All
right. So, me and Rob are gonna drop back down. Please like the video. Keep sending in super chats. We will read them in between rounds. There's another big announcement after the next round. Like the video. Keep tweeting the debate with hashtag selfmade debates with an S. Yeah, peace.
All right.
Tremendous. Thank you to our hosts, Ao and Rob. And I think we're all on the same page here as to where this needs to go next. Everyone's warmed up. Everyone's got their footing. We can now get down to business. Our second question. Which promotion has had the better matches in 2026? Chriso started last time. Ibou will start this time. Ibou, take it away.
This is better matches, you said, sir?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes.
All right. Well, my answer to you is that New Japan has had the best matches, or had the better accumulation of actually truly great matches in comparison to AEW. And the reason why I would make this argument personally, Joe, in spite of the fact that AEW has a larger roster, a roster that has more singles matches on television, is that greatness to me is defined by the reverberations that you make following it. To me, a great match is a match that you remember and you feel. A great match is a match that has stakes and consequences.
Okay.
Great match is a match that has lasting, important, tangible effects following. To me, New Japan's great matches are greater than any matches this year. So much so that, notice, Joe, that nobody in the wrestling community is debating what the match of the year is, because that was wrapped up on January 4th. Make no mistake about it. On January 4th, Hiroshi Tanahashi called it a career in the Dome in front of over 50,000 people opposite Kazuchika Okada, his longtime rival. And they not only tore the house down, they made you cry. They locked you in, and you got one last ride with the ace. And again, that was an amazing story, an amazing moment, but it was also an amazing match. And like I said, nobody is debating what the match of the year is, because that was wrapped up then. And for anybody that, I'm sure Chris will probably make a note about, it's the ace. That's a very specific situation. But the truth is, we have the better matches in the tag title scene compared to AEW. Our tag title matches are better than AEW's tag title matches. KOB have had incredible matches with Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura, with Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Oiwa, and with Bishamon. You take your pick, you pick your poison. And it's not just that division, because again, we have clear divisions with very clear clarity as to their identities and purposes. And that's the other reason why our great matches are better, because we remember these matches and we know what purpose they serve. And our great matches never are to fill television time because we're getting paid money for television. And again, I understand the purpose of wrestling television, and that's cool. And I'd rather that be filled with good matches than bad matches. But our great matches serve purpose. They elevate people. We have a junior tag division that's almost as good as our heavyweight tag division. Robbie X, Joe, has emerged from nowhere, and alongside a re-emerging Taiji Ishimori, has had an excellent series of matches with Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles. Yes, you heard correctly. There have been two excellent junior tag title matches with that pairing. And it doesn't just stop there, because in the New Japan Cup, we had some tremendous matches. Yuya Uemura, Joe, had great matches in every round, and everyone was different, and they stood out. I could tell you Yuya's in-ring strategy for how he was able to defeat Drilla Maloney or Oleg Boltin in a classic wrestling match, or in the final match against Callum Newman. Speaking of Newman, he's had a great in-ring year. And also speaking of great in-ring years, one of the other matches of the year was your Tokyo Dome semi-main event, where Yota Tsuji beat Takeshita. What am I going to remember that for? I'm going to remember that as the night that Yota Tsuji beat an outsider to win his first world title. You never forget that. And you know what else I'll never forget? The day that Yota Tsuji had the greatest New Japan Strong match ever in New Jersey when he faced Andrade El Idolo. And they absolutely transcended the setting, the audience, and the production, and had an absolute classic on that night. Up and down the roster, there have been great matches on a small and larger scale. Like I said, it's about what it means. Daiki Nagai just a couple days ago on a Road to Dontaku show, right? Daiki Nagai is a promising young junior heavyweight, and his story has been that of indignance and defiance. And he faced Callum Newman, not in an epic, not in a long back and forth clash, but a 7-minute Cork and Hall match where he showed He will never falter. He'll never give up. He'll keep fighting on behalf of Unbound Company. And he fought for his mentors, Shingo and Tsuji, and he took on Daiki Nagai head on, and he did not win because he's not better than him yet. But it was a match that showed you a lot about who he is. New Japan's great matches are exciting, engaging, memorable, and revelatory of who the talents involved are.
Okay. Thank you. That was like just under 5 minutes, so I appreciate you listening.
It was 5 minutes, Joe.
There you go.
But
I appreciate, nonetheless, a great improvement. I appreciate you listening to the referee. Chriso, your turn.
it's not even close when it comes to matches and quality of matches. You would think of the quality of AEW matches. There would be some lackluster stuff. Well, no, we had a match of the year contender last week. Darby Allin versus Tommaso Ciampa dog walks almost everything New Japan Pro Wrestling has done all year. Kenny Omega versus MJF dog walks a lot of what New Japan has been doing all year. The Young Bucks versus oh heavens no, Konosuke Takeshita and Okada dog walks every tag match that has happened in your promotion. You know what I can do that you can't do, Ibou? I'm gonna name some women matches because they don't have those in your company because there's no women's.
Oh, I have a rebuttal for that.
There's no women's division. There's no women's division.
Go for it, pal. Go for
Jamie
it.
Hayter and Thekla was a very tight 13 minutes of great action between two women.
Yeah.
And we just, oh my God, Swerve versus Omega 1, an awesome match between two real main eventers, two real stars that people actually know. Just to delve into some of the matches you said, 3 of your top 4 matches all had an AEW wrestler in them. Andrade versus Yota Tsuji versus Takeshita, Tanahashi versus Okada. You're like a leech. New Japan leeches off of AEW to get some buzz, to get some, big bro, Tony Khan, can we please have something? And Tony Khan throws you niggas a bone, right? None of the matches that you named hold any weight to the wider wrestling scene if there's no AEW wrestler in there. You know what? I don't have to name. I can name a top 100 matches this year. I wouldn't have to name a single match between AEW and New Japan in my promotion. You know why? Because we don't do that. Because we have wrestlers who are hey, nigga, I'm talking. We don't have to do that.
Here we go.
Because our wrestlers are all world class. We don't have to have Doki as our champion. You're talking about the junior division is on the level of your heavyweight division. That's not a sell for your heavyweight division. Because Doki is your world champion. Having shit matches every fucking week.
I was speaking on the tag division, but I understand
Ibou,
you don't hear well.
Ibou, this is pretty clearly Chriso's time to talk. We have back and forth after both men have spoken, and that's been established. Thank you very much, Ibou. Stop right there. Chriso, continue, please.
You said Robbie X, nigga. I almost left the call. You said Robbie X. Chat, for those who don't know, Robbie X, you don't care, right? You're saying these wrestlers who are irrelevant, who have nothing. No one can name anything about these guys. You say, that Robbie X match was great on Twitter. What do you think the response is going to be? People are going to block you, unfollow you, and say all that. That doesn't happen in my promotion because we have world-class wrestlers. We have some of the best wrestlers to ever grace this planet. Wrestlers who defected from your company. Kazuchika Okada had an amazing match with the Young Bucks, showing that, people thought he was just going to sleepwalk in AEW. And look what he's doing this year. He had an amazing match with the Young Bucks along with Takeshita. And you're just, you're naming a lot of stuff that doesn't hit home to anyone. No one can tell the difference between the two fucking knockout brothers. What's his name? Sweet Heat and Shota Umino matches. No one can tell the difference. It was like, damn, they had more than one match. Yeah, I guess so. No one watches them. No one sees them. Tommaso Ciampa, who is an undercard mid-carder in our promotion, would be a top 3 wrestler in New Japan. And you can say, oh, that's not true. But it is true. Look what the content he's putting out lately. Oh, my God. Tommaso Ciampa versus Kyle Fletcher is a gem of a match. Tommaso Ciampa might have a better catalog than everyone on your roster this year. And that's not even crazy to say.
Referee,
Maxwell Jacob Friedman is the best wrestler in the world. He definitely has a better resume than every wrestler in your roster.
Can I respond, referee?
Hold
I'm
on.
not done yet, though.
Chriso absolutely has a minute or two before he matches yourself. So it's only fair he finishes his point, and then there'll be room for back and forth salvos throughout this segment. Okay, Chriso, as you were.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Amazing host, by the way. Andrade El Idolo. is having, he very well could be the most outstanding wrestler this year. His matches with Bandito at Revolution, one of the best matches of the year, a explosion of Mexican power. Shout out Mexico. I love Mexico. And I love Mexican wrestlers. And I love that AEW gives these wrestlers, a chance to, go on stage and do what they can do. You know what? I don't get from New Japan? Diversity. When's the last time a black man was on a New Japan show, Ibou, in Japan? You can't name it.
I'm not
You
responding.
can't name it because it doesn't happen. Because Gato doesn't allow those things to happen in this promotion. But Tony Khan, the gracious leader he is, has a very diverse roster of wrestlers who get to do all these amazing things, all different styles. New Japan is just strong style, kick, punch, fighting spirit. That's all it is. It's all, even AEW does fighting spirit better. And I'll leave off on this, Joe. I know I'm going a little long. When you want a match every week, when you go week by week and say, what's going to be the match of the week? I'm sorry. It's more than likely going to come from AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision. That is all.
Okay. Even I do want to stress,
Yeah,
I understand why you were drawn into battle there because Chriso definitely threw some heavy shots directly in your. So I understand
a
that
lot of
things are
them
going to
below
get
the
heated.
belt, in fact. But you know what? I'm gonna let that
I
fly.
disagree with that. They're on the belt, but
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Chriso had extended time there, and that's fine. I understand you feel some time with that. Now we're going to go into some back and forth. Okay, so if we can have a little debate action, head to head, this will be the time for it. Ibou, please respond to what Chriso said, and we can get some back and forth action for the people in the cheap seats. Let's get it.
Well, thank you, Joe, and thank you to this audience. I hope you guys are enjoying this round. Look, credit to Chris, man. He's on fire in this round because there's one thing that his company does do, and it's good matches, and that's awesome, right? And so he's gonna come out guns blazing for this thing. But here's the thing. We can argue to the cows come home about which match is better than which match because here's the truth about match quality. It's subjective, right? What I think is a more productive conversation to have within this topic, within this parameter of discussion, is the fact that New Japan better packages their great wrestling matches than AEW because New Japan, they know how to pre-present their talent when it comes to a video package, when it comes to the nights that they're having certain matches, so that it is, like I said, it reverberates within the roster when the match takes place. Chris named a bunch of matches that I promise you the audience went, oh yeah, that happened. And here's the thing. You might think that's a good thing. AEW has so many good matches that you forget some of them. I would argue and contend that that is a bad thing because anytime a match is truly great, it should.
Having good matches is bad, chat.
I think Ibou lost his mouthpiece.
If a great match happens, it should hit you in the bottom of your fucking spirit because it was great. If you forget it, that means your promotion is failing to do its fucking job. If you forget a great match, was it actually great? If you forget a great match, did a company do the right thing with the talent involved? Did they do right by the people that were in the ring having the match? To me, that's a waste of a fucking bump if people kill themselves and you don't remember it. And beyond that, Chris talks about the fucking women's division. Guess what? New Japan doesn't have a women's division, and they have 2 women's matches in New Japan that are better than any women's match that AEW has had all fucking year. At January 4th, Shiori and Saya Kamitani wrestled for the IWGP Women's Championship, and that is a better wrestling match than any women's match in AEW. And you know whose fault that is? It's your fucking company's fault. It's your fucking booker's fault because he doesn't know how to use the women, and that's why there are no great women's matches in AEW this year. Notice when he named all these matches, none of them were women's matches. None of them. None of them. And it's not just that because in New Jersey, Athena, your talent. Not from AEW. Shut the fuck up. It's your talent. And she walked to New Japan. And she had a match in New Japan better than anything she's done in AEW in fucking months. That's an embarrassment and a joke. And again, New Japan, no women's division. 2 women's matches within their promotion better than anything AEW's done all year. Speaking of all year.
It's objective, though.
You know what people do in New Japan? They come over here for rehabilitation. They come over here to get the feeling back. Will Ospreay is going out of his way to work towards the New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know why? Because he knows to find who he is as a wrestler, to find his fastball and his touch again, he has to come back home. He has to come back to his roots, get back in the weeds, in the tags. And speaking of rehabilitation, Andrade, you know what he did to get his mojo back? You know what he did to get his spark back? You're talking about niggas jumping over and niggas needing to borrow. Andrade came to fucking New Japan to get his street cred back. That's what he did. He came back to New Japan to get his fucking street cred back. That's a fact. That's not fiction. That's a fucking fact. He knows if he wants niggas to remember who he is as a wrestler, he comes over and he wrestles in the place where we get busy. Because like I said, King of Sports, you wrestle here, you have a great match here, niggas remember it. Talking about niggas don't remember the KOB matches, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. Because when we wrestle, when KOB has a match, that shit has creative effects that affect the roster on a show-by-show basis. Like I said, once again, we could debate till the cows come home about this match being better than that match. And if you want to have that conversation, have it. I have no interest in debating that. What I would tell you is this.
Well, that's what we have to do.
At the end of the year, Chris, at the end of the year, nobody, as God is my witness, nobody is going to be talking about Darby and Ciampa. As God is my witness, nobody's going to be talking about half the shit you just fucking mentioned with Fletcher and Ciampa or whoever. And again, that is not the fault of the talent because AEW has an incredible roster. It's the fact that your company does not know how to package great matches. They do not know how to maximize these great matches and get the most effect out of them. And again, if they don't do that, it's a waste of a great match. It's almost like it evaporated, like it didn't matter, like it didn't last, it didn't stick. And that's the end of my comment on this debate because I have nothing else to say.
Do me one favor, because I know it was just a mere misunderstanding. Try to avoid putting Andrade's name in the same word, same sentence as rehabilitation. That's a very frightening direction you took, but I understand your point. Chriso, how do you respond? I mean, this does feel, to be honest, a little bit now more just like outright a philosophical debate. Frankly, how do you respond to what Ibou said?
He thinks the yelling makes what he says right, and that's just not something I believe in. So I'm gonna talk calmly and keep my composure. No one remembers Yota Tsuji versus Callum Newman, and that happened like a month ago. No one talks about it. That's not even the most, that's not even what people talk the most about in Callum Newman. Callum Newman's best match was on AEW Dynamite with the rest of United Empire against the Death Riders. That's the match people are going to remember this year because he was shown to a wider audience.
That's a joke. That's a joke. You're making charts and graph conversations. That's charts and graph shit. We're talking about hoops. We're talking about basketball. We're talking about the floor of the court. Niggas talking to me about a wider audience. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. If you want to do a fucking charts and graph conversation, go with Brandon Thurston. Go pull up a graph. I'm not here to talk graph.
You also brought up that you said that
fuck out of here.
You said yourself AEW has so many good matches that that's not a good thing. Well, that's a horrible argument. AEW matches are so great. Just because you watch New Japan, you think you're smarter than everybody else. You're not, right? No one remembers any of the KOB matches. No one knows who the tall guy in KOB is. No one could tell you his name. Chat, what's that guy's name? You wouldn't know. He's carried by the guy who thinks he's black, who is actually. I'm actually kind of offended by Yuto Ice's gimmick personally. I don't know about other black people. But you talk about these things, and you didn't really even bring up matches in your counter argument. You just brought up.
Okay.
Just brought up.
Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. was an absolute classic.
There is truth, though. This is kind of now just a difference in philosophy. It seems that way to me. I mean, I don't know if you guys. I don't know how much left there's to achieve here. It's great entertainment. It's a much better round, but I don't know. What do you think? Anything else we need to get on the record?
Well, what I would simply say is this. I want to make it clear to the audience, right? Chris is going to go in the direction he's going to go. But I want to make it clear to the audience, I'm not saying having less great matches is good. What I'm saying is New Japan gets more out of the great wrestling that they have.
Okay.
And to me, that is much more, and that's much more effective and useful and a less of a waste of the bumps of the talent and their effort.
Okay.
And so to me, that's what lets things stick and land better when you take a big step back of what have we accomplished this year? Because again, the bigger debate question is who's had the better year? And to me, it's like, man, I mean, this guy did so much this year. Yuya Uemura went to the New Japan Cup final and he had a great tournament and he had great matches with.
And no one remembers it.
No, I do. You know why? Because he made it to the finals and that tournament established him as a top guy.
No one talks about it. AEW's been the best business they've done in years because of the match quality they've
Hey,
had
Chris, that's what's up.
in
Again, you're
years.
talking
But you
business.
said who's
Trust
having
me,
a better
Ref.
year, and
Look, my
objectively,
brother.
when
Look, my
numbers go
brother.
up, that means they
My
did
brother.
better.
Your billionaire has a lot of money,
Shot
and his company
philanthropists.
makes a lot of money. That's wonderful. God bless Tony Khan, a billionaire extraordinaire who has a very lucrative television deal with his wrestling promotion. That's cool. That is not pertinent to the conversation that I'm having, and you know the conversation that I'm
I
having.
don't know the
And you have not
conversation.
refused.
You know,
Yes, you do.
a
Yes,
lot
you
of
do.
people talk
Why is
about how
AEW not at any women's
Okay.
matches better than the two
Let's
women's
hear,
matches?
let's hear,
a lot
Chriso.
of
It's a
people-
fair
Why is it
question,
not
but let's hear, Chriso.
Why is it not
a lot of-
happening? Why is Athena going to New Japan to have great matches?
Again,
Blue
I'm not
Trump,
your
Blue
your
Trump, you gotta let me talk.
your argument is apt, and I would like to hear Chriso's answer, but I can only hear it if you stop yelling for a moment. Chriso, if you can respond to that, that'd be great. Thank you.
What question would you like me to respond to?
Okay, Ibou, repeat that last question because the women's division was saying I did want to see the chat. They wanted that conversation, so Ibou, go for it.
Sure. Why you wanted to use that women's jab? Why has your company not produced any women's, in spite of having so many great women's wrestlers? Why have they not produced any women's matches better than Siri versus Saya and Siri versus Athena? Why is that not?
They have. Like you said earlier, it's subjective. So you might not think what I think is better. But I think, underrated women's match, Maya Ward and High End versus Divine Domination, I think is better than every match that has taken place on the New Japan show, personally.
Where did that take place?
I'm sorry, bro. I don't mean to keep. I'm not gonna run it again. But is anybody like Joe? You're fucked up, bro. Are you not gonna tell Chriso the difference between objective and subjective? Like you're just gonna keep letting him get it wrong?
He's doing his thing, bro.
All right. I was just wondering because I was like, bro,
objective,
please, bro,
It
please,
is
someone correct
objective,
Chriso.
in my opinion.
This is fucked up what y'all doing to him.
I just
say objective over and over and over again.
Good job interfering, bro.
Chriso's being yelled over so much when he has one
Word.
chance to speak. I didn't want to interrupt him. Carry on, Chris.
I just don't get to speak. Everyone's gonna interrupt me. Rob, you have
Go
anything
ahead,
to interrupt
Chris.
me?
Go ahead, Chris, just please listen. This is all fun. Sincerely, I want a response to my question.
I did respond. It's subjective. I like
And so-
the matches that I listed better. I think
And so
is better.
you said Tekla versus Jamie because
Yeah.
previously your example was
I
was
actually said Jamie versus Tekla first, though. When I was
Yeah.
naming matches, I said that. Just because you don't remember my arguments doesn't mean I don't remember my own
I
arguments.
know. I remember. I do remember your arguments, sir. I respect what you have to say, so
Okay.
I'm listening intently. You also named High End in My World against
Yeah. Divine Domination.
is Divine Dominion, but I understand you're not going to remember the names of these acts. They're not well. So what I would say is that you named a match that was on a pre-show because your company doesn't have the confidence to platform these women on the main card. That was a wrestling show that had one
How
women's.
many women's matches on Road 2 shows?
Well, here's the thing: we don't have a women's division, but when we bring in women, world-class women,
And that's
we know-
a good thing?
let me finish. That's just culture. That's just their custom. I can't speak to that.
Oh, so misogyny is their custom.
No, that's not what I'm
That's
saying.
what you're saying. You're saying that
No.
they can't invest in
Here
the
we
women's
go,
division.
boys.
So when they bring
So-
women from
Can I
companies that
respond to
aren't
you?
there, so
Can I
when they
respond
bring
to you?
women
Can I
from
respond to
companies
you?
that they're not contracted to, it's a
Can
good
I-
thing.
can I
Because
respond to you?
Gato and New Japan Brass just have internalized misogyny.
That's
now respond.
not what's taking place. But guess what? When we bring in
It
women,
is, though. It's been
we know.
50 years of New Japan. There hasn't been a women's division.
Chris, can I respond to you, please?
They have the titles, but they don't have the division. They can pay all
When-
these women.
When we bring in women,
They
we
have
know
from
that they're
different companies, by the way.
all right. See,
Another example of people from different companies.
ref.
Hey, listen.
Ref.
Chriso is yelling over you, but you kind of earned these receipts, quite frankly. I mean, you were very aggressive earlier.
All right.
Now, though, Chris, if you can let Ibou speak on this, and then we'll
Thank you.
put an end to
Yeah,
this
of
round.
course.
Yeah.
Of
Sure.
course.
Listen, what I would say is this: New Japan does not have a women's division, but when they bring in ladies, they know that they're world class and position and present them as such. Athena versus Siri was a semi-main event of a show that they ran because Athena is one of the great women's wrestlers, not just of today, but of all time. And you know who seems to understand that? Everybody except Anthony Rafiki Khan. And again, you're naming matches on pre-shows. And again, they take place
It was a
in
great match. That doesn't diminish the value of the match.
It doesn't. I love everybody involved in that match. I am so proud of Maya World for making the most of her opportunity. What I'm saying to you is I think there's a reason why that is on a pre-show. I think also beyond that, my broader point was just since you wanted to talk about women as we're talking about match quality,
Yes.
New Japan is better at presenting their great wrestlers and great matches. And beyond any of that, I think it's problematic, to be completely honest with you, that Athena had a better match in a company with no women's division than anything that she's produced so far in her own home promotion. And to me, right at that point, you have to then abandon that ship and just go somewhere else. And again, my whole thing is about presentation. It's about timing. It's about packaging and about the effectiveness coming out of these great matches. And I'm not going to repeat myself because I've already made these points. I'm just going to simply respectfully end my point there and let the audience decide who won this round.
Okay.
I have one more thing to say, Joe, if you don't
Okay,
mind.
one more, and then we need to go to the poll. Okay.
You know, you brought up the women's division, and you tried to compare apples to oranges because y'all don't have a women's division. You didn't bring up my point on the diversity of New Japan Pro Wrestling with black wrestlers, because as a wrestling fan, one of the reasons I don't watch a lot of New Japan nowadays, I want to see wrestlers that look like myself. I want to see the Kevin Knights of the world. I want to see the Leo Rushers of the world. I want to see the Swerve Stricklands. But New Japan does this thing where they just don't allow people of color, black people on their shows, and it's actually very demeaning to me personally. Because, I know how amazing these wrestlers are, and I know how hard they work. I know all these wrestlers on the indies and everywhere, how much work they put in. And they just don't get a chance in New Japan. Fred Rosser's been on that roster for almost a decade. Has never once, wrestled in Japan.
So we don't know the terms of Fred Rosser's contract.
Put me in a real tough position here.
What I'm going to say to Chris is this, because we do need to move on. Look, Chris, as a fellow black man, obviously I am for the prosperity and welfare of black wrestlers. I am not going to engage in conjecture about New Japan's potential motives when it comes to signing and using black people in their company. I'm also going to say that New Japan Pro Wrestling is a Japanese promotion operating in a country primarily populated by Japanese people.
The top champion is white.
You named Leo Rush and Kevin Knight. These are two people that were used and
it's 2026.
We're talking
about 2026. No,
again.
We are. I don't know if this necessarily fits the current debate topic, but again, I don't really want one that stops this conversation from proceeding.
Joe be like, hey, take it easy with that. Look, what I would say is this, because again, the debate question is done. We're talking about match quality, but yes, what I would say is, I think I don't think it is productive to have a conversation about motives that we never will know, because we are not privy to the opinions of New Japan's front office as it pertains to black people. All I can tell you is you named 2 out of 3 black wrestlers that wrestled within New Japan that were pushed in
this year.
I can tell you that Ricochet gets pushed and presented very well when he comes to New Japan, which is why
in Japan.
When Ricochet last appeared in Japan, he main evented the Tokyo Dome.
Okay, all right. I think that's the perfect time.
Tokyo Dome.
That's the perfect time.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're good to get the poll moving here for round 2. Definitely a more exciting round in terms of punches thrown. I mean, that was exciting stuff, combative stuff, thrilling stuff at times. Certainly controversial in spurts. I appreciate both of you. For the most part, keeping those punches up, avoiding the back of the head. You can see in the chat the way things are just heating up every turn. And I believe we'll have the second poll up for you guys to vote on in the Discord in mere moments. Again, you can join that Discord. The Patreon link over a Selfmade's Twitter account. Also, speaking of Twitter, hashtag Selfmade Debates. Get involved. Tell us what you're thinking. At us. Engage with the conversation over on social media. Twitter.com. Hashtag Selfmade Debates. Include the S on it. I think our hosts are ready to come back up. The poll is now live, from what I understand.
The votes in, chat.
And get those votes in. The hosts are going to join us here in a second. They're going to read through some super chats. They're going to make an announcement. And then we're going to conclude this thing with the third and final round. Thank you, fellas.
See, that's the fire I wanted to fucking see. That was the fucking vigor that I was expecting from a self-made debate. That was a good piece of business there.
There's a couple headbutts, a couple low blows.
like what I saw. Chat, please get your super chats in. Please like the video. What should we do? Announcement and super chats first. We'll do the announcement. So, announcement number 2.
Yeah.
This has been something that has been asked for 13 months now. 13 months. And we finally decided it is the right time to pull the trigger. Ladies and gentlemen, available right now, at this very second, is the first ever self-made merchandise drop on T Public, featuring shirts like Still Hungry, Belly Full. Hold on, let me bring y'all to our store real fast. I should have had this set up beforehand, but I'm incredibly high. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
In the meantime, folks, please like the stream if you haven't already.
Here we go. All right. Let me share my screen here.
Man, this is the shirt you need to
All
wear when
right.
you go to your next wrestling show, right?
All right. Go over to T Public /Selfmade Pro. I'll put that in the chat. We have a shirt for the King of the New York weekend. Belly Full, Still Hungry, Self-Made logo, Sessions, vertical, Sessions horizontal. If you're not familiar with T Public, you could pick your style of shirt. You could pick your size all the way up to 5X for a nigga like Ibou. You could pick the color. Like
It's not a
we're taking care of y'all. Everything is on sale. Everything will be on sale through.
Wait, yo, it's not
this
on
week.
screen.
Oh, it's not on
I
screen.
see you like switching. It's not on screen.
Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, so I have it up. Ooh, now I have it up. All right, so we have the Kings of New York weekend, Belly Full, Still Hungry, Self-Made, Sessions vertical, Sessions horizontal.
Yeah.
All right. Like you pick a shirt. You could pick the style of shirt, male fit, female fit, all the way up to 5X. Again, for a nigga like Ibou, everything is on sale through this week.
We got the hoodies, big bro.
I'm not sure. That's a Cade question.
No, I don't even know who's here.
Cade, you're fucking fired, gang. Yeah, man. So you can pick.
Yes.
Oh, we got the hoodies. We got the hoodies. So, yeah, man. Lock in with us, chat. Y'all been asking for it. We delivered. We love y'all. Appreciate the support.
This
Get
joke
your merch now.
is hilarious.
Get your merch now. Yeah, man. I will be wearing one of these to Double or Nothing. I'm not sure which one.
Y'all know
Probably
I'm
the Kings of
rocking
New
that
York
belly
shirt.
full, chat.
The loser, whoever sells the most of Belly Full versus We Hungry shirts, the loser is gonna come on here and do a dance. Isn't that correct, Ibou?
No.
Correct. Anyway.
He don't love y'all. You
Yeah, he
remember
don't
that
love
next round.
Anyway, yeah. So y'all asked, we delivered. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. So let's get into these super chats.
All right. Ismo Conan. Easymo Conan. I don't know why I read it like that. $2. Hashtag time for something sweet FC in the mud. Oh no.
What the fuck is time for something sweet?
That's hungry because when after you eat, you're like, time to get something sweet after you eat a dinner. No, I'm pretty sure that's what you meant.
I'm Johnny Bernie, $2 super chat. 2026 Champa is greater than quote unquote world champ Cal-U Newman. Come on, bro. We don't got
definitely has a better catalog. Definitely.
We don't gotta disrespect Big Cal meat, bro.
Yo, I want to say shout out to Champa. Love all the Champa praise.
Yo, you want Ibou with dead ass like Champa
years.
batters, bro. And me and Chriso are like, yo, give him a chance, bro. He did a lot of good work.
Yo, you can do
like,
this
yo,
with Ibou. I'm just not like
this is a great wrestler, bro. Just give him a chance. This is a husband. This is a father, and you're just burying him for no reason.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess I was calling him Tomato Chomper too, right? Yeah. Right.
You were calling him Tomato Cheese Pizza, and it was very spiteful.
Okay.
Sprouts, $2 super chat. Folks, Ibou's first non-WWE rant of passion ever. That is a nasty allegation. Ibou has excused himself and has gone to the little Ibou's room. But I will let him know you said that when he returned.
I'll check the gloves.
Ibou's got the loaded gloves. Rob from the 6'4", $10 super chat. I got two questions for Ibou. If New Japan Pro, I'll bring this back up when Ibou gets back.
Good question.
The custodian, Brian Pillman Jr., $5 super chat. Whether you're from Birmingham or Grinner or you're self-made, we can agree there would be no AEW without New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can't be full without being hungry first. Vroom, vroom.
Yo,
That's a good point, Chris. How does that make you feel, Chris?
That could have been a good argument if it was 2019, but we're talking about 2026, baby. That would be a good argument back then. That's the old days, though. We already surpassed them little bros. Surpassed them little niggas.
Okay.
Ibou, are you back?
I am back.
All right. Rob from the 6'4" has a question for you.
Some blood pressure medicine. For Ibou, if New Japan is the gold standard for real wrestling, why hasn't that translated into broader global dominance in 2026? And does that mean its approach is fundamentally limited?
That was
no, it doesn't, because that would imply that global dominance is predicated purely on just excellence. And if that's the case, then that would mean that WWE is the best wrestling promotion in the world. Thank you, Ra.
All right, there's another. You have allegations of this is the first time you've ever had a passionate rant of anything not WWE related. How does that make you feel?
I don't really have a sufficient reply to that I'd be able to be allowed to give on air.
Seems like it's true then.
So it's true.
I thank you for your continued support of this Discord and our platform.
Riley Black with another $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Riley. You are amazing. Yeah, I mean, Tekla entire title reign's been good. Jamie Stat Mina match is good. Willow title reign solid. Bane solid tag matches. Remember when New Japan Pro Wrestling used to keep the women in 5-minute matches? New Japan Pro Wrestling only have 5 women matches a year. Chriso, don't fuck.
Oh my god.
He's right. Hey man, there's no division, Riley. So I mean, like, what can little Gato do? He's just a boy. What can he do? Just a boy. I'm scared of women. No. Thank you, Riley.
Ibou rebuttal
points.
I think Ibou's still recovering.
Yeah. Thank you, Riley, to the continued support that you
can't even look Riley in her eyes.
Bucky, $2 super chat. Self-made shiesty when? That's a good idea.
Do they have that on T Republic? Shiesty
shit, probably not.
We're gonna make one.
And Yo side $2 super chat. Chris, if you fail AW again, I swear to God.
No, I'm guessing he's talking about the first round. You know, even though I think I won the first round by a hair, I can see it going either way. I think I avenged you in the second round, and I look forward to doing it again in the third round.
Please get your votes in. We'll be closing the poll soon. We'll be closing the poll soon. Get your votes in. The last super chat for now, Anjan, $2 super chat. This debate, greater than most Mox matches of the year.
I tend to agree.
Have we decided that he's officially Mox MOCKS again?
After this debate. I think, this is what you New Japan niggas do. John couldn't bring up this guy has had a better year than he had to use the debate instead of using the New Japan guy.
He's saying you lost the AEW trade. That's what you failed. The AEW trade.
Oh, I did fail the AEW. I'm gonna, gonna bounce back. But I just, Mox is he's a father.
And I've seen some questions in the chat. We should stress we're not revealing who's winning the rounds. The end will reveal the winner.
We will boxing style. We will reveal round. At the end we will reveal the winner round by round.
Yes.
Undertake AAA Kerr $5 super chat. Andrade rehabilitated in New Japan Pro Wrestling when he's only had about 5 matches. Why does New Japan only book CMLL guys for Fantastica Mania and Best of Super Junior? Mouse Boo.
That's their business model, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Those are the super chats. I'd like to stress again, use the hashtag self-made debates with an S when live tweeting the show. Like the video, please. And let's get into round 3.
Yep, I do want to bring both debaters to the middle and say I want to thank them for following my instructions last round. If I could ask a favor, If we could avoid putting him in a position to stop conversations about black representation moving forward, that'd be terrific. But with that established, I think we'll get round 3 underway here, which of course is which promotion has been better at elevating talent and making new stars in 2026. Last time Ibou kicked us off. We'll now go back to Chriso Brett. Now, I do want to stress again, remember, folks, just like last round, the opening statements are just that, opening statements. The fun begins once we're beyond that. So please keep that in mind. Chriso, take it away.
Yeah, I think AEW, no contest. The elevation of Kevin Knight has been maybe one of my favorite stories of the year. A young guy who, very much had a ceiling in New Japan as a junior, came to AEW, young prospect, started off in the tag team, and has elevated himself to where he can be in the ring and having a one-on-one promo segment with Maxwell Jacob Friedman, maybe the best talker in the world. And then you got, the former world champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who was only 30 years old, turned 30 this year, if I'm not mistaken, who was the world champion after what some might say was a, not amazing first title reign. A lot of companies would give up on a young guy after a failure or what some fans perceive as a failure of a title run. But no, Tony Khan said, no, Max, you're our guy. You're the future of our company. You're the president of our company as well. We're going to let you run with the ball. And I think it's been amazing them letting a 30-year-old Maxwell Jacob Friedman run with the ball. You see elevation of Thekla, who also had a ceiling in Stardom. She's only 32 years old. That's very young for the wrestling business, in my opinion. Who has had open mic time almost every week, has had matches bi-weekly, weekly on every pay-per-view. She's been getting a chance to show off that she has the personality of a star, in my opinion. It's not just them. Kyle Fletcher, before he got injured, obviously a top guy, star, who was having amazing matches every week. Someone who AEW is forcing down your throat. Yo, this guy is going to lead us into the future. And I think when he gets back, he's going to continue to do that. He's done it all year, all 2026 until his injury. And it's just like, when it's American TV, it's more than just young guy go out there and have a match. It's young guy. You have to go out there and get over. You have to, ways that aren't just, your moves, your wrestling. You're going to have to speak on the mic. You're going to have to, we're going to have to trust you to go out there for 5-10 minutes and cut a promo. And what they have done with Kevin Knight, who was, I think, involved into an awesome promo, if you would ask me. Just what Tony Khan is allowing a lot of these guys to do is awesome to me. And I think with New Japan, they have to push those young guys because that's all they have now. Everyone else has left. So you have to, the only people left in the company are these younger guys. And it's awesome that they're being pushed. And it's, but they have to. Because the best wrestlers in their company are the younger guys and not these guys over the hill. When us, it is a choice. And they're allowing these guys to spread their wings. And I think it's been amazing so far.
Very nice opening statement. Ibou, over to you.
Yeah, I think this one goes to New Japan without any shadow of a doubt. Chriso Brett says that New Japan is using and pushing young guys because they have to. Well, the fact of the matter is their top wrestlers that drew for them on top last year all still remain in the promotion. Most people would argue that the wrestler of the year through 6 months last year was Hiroki Goto. And Goto was a veteran wrestler who was excellent and who held the IWGP Championship last year. And he drew in Osaka, and he drew in Niigata and various other prefectures of Japan. And he remains in the company. You know who else remains in the company? Zack Sabre Jr., a wrestler who main evented 2 domes for them last year. So the argument that this is being happening out of necessity, well, here's the actual truth about it. New Japan could still be relying on the, Hiroki Goto and Zack Sabre Jr. and Shingo Takagi. But instead what they are doing is they're using those 3 excellent veteran wrestlers to enhance and elevate other people in the roster. And they did that in this very New Japan Cup that we last saw. Like I said earlier, Goto went from beating Callum Newman at Dontaku last year to putting him over in the New Japan Cup. Zack Sabre Jr. went from beating Shota Umino at the Tokyo Dome last year to putting him over in the New Japan Cup. And Shingo Takagi went from being a dominant upper-level guy to being somebody that now plays second fiddle to Yota Tsuji within his stable. And not only does that, but he is bringing along a young Daiki Nagai in tags. They are leveraging and using the equity that has been built up with these three guys who have a name and have drawing ability, and they're using it to bring up people. Shingo Takagi, by the way, put over Yuya Uemura for the very first time at the Tokyo Dome. I want to make another point. Chriso Bread mentioned Kyle Fletcher earlier, but the truth is Kyle Fletcher's elevation was 2 years ago at this point. I think Chris has begun to lose count, because what he's forgetting is that Kyle Fletcher was mired in stagnation prior to his injury. Here's the thing about AEW. New Japan is having more successful elevations right now because there's a creative infrastructure that exists within the promotion and the roster that allows for people to have more linear elevation. Whereas within AEW, because there is not that infrastructure and there's a bigger roster and there are more championships that are indistinguishable amongst themselves, it is harder to create elevation. And what you instead have is people being shifted and shuffled around spots, and movement is happening. But the argument could be made that it's mostly lateral, not vertical. You know, he named some good names. I'm never going to argue that Tekla hasn't come into her own in AEW this year. And Kevin Knight did win a singles belt, but Kevin Knight has been a featured person on television since last year. The only difference is now it's in a singles capacity. And again, kudos to him. But the truth about AEW when it comes to these talents is a lot of them tend to stagnate and they don't really make tangible advancements up the card because, again, it's hard to do when the setup and structure of the promotion is more mazy. You go up and then you have to make a left and then go back down and then make another right and then a left. And again, this happens because there is no clean elevation. Historically, you look at WWE and you go, you win the Intercontinental Championship, and that is a stepping stone for the World Championship. And you look at AEW, is the TNT Championship a stepping stone for the National Championship or the Continental or the International? You tell me, because I don't know. And so when these people in AEW win these belts, I don't know what it means. You know what I do know, though? In New Japan Pro Wrestling, if somebody wins the global championship, we know that that is going to hopefully lead to them winning the IWGP championship. I do know that if somebody is a junior, there is the upward mobility that exists that someday they may become a heavyweight. I know that in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the IWGP TV championship is below the global championship. And the global championship is below the top championship. But let's talk about the actual wrestlers that have been elevated, because a number of them have been, in spite of the fact that Chris claimed it was out of necessity. It was not out of necessity. But let me take you through this, honey. So Zack Sabre Jr. is the leader of a stable that has Ryohei Oiwa. And this year, Oiwa has a better record win-loss wise than he has ever had in his career. And he's doing so well for himself. The only thing really left for him to do from an accomplishment standpoint, besides winning championships, is beat his leader, which potentially the stage has been set for that to happen in the G1 climax. Let's talk about Yuya Uemura. Yuya Uemura is an extremely talented wrestler, but prior to this year, he was an absolute non-factor. And this year, they used the New Japan Cup as a storytelling device to communicate to their audience that he is now a guy. He's now a player, a main event guy. And they did that through winning, going all the way to the finals of the New Japan Cup. That was a device to make him a main event guy. And he's not the only guy that's been a main eventer this year. The Knockout Brothers this year have become stars within the promotion. They are over. They now can be relied upon to headline shows. And more than in AEW, there's a bigger proof of concept to New Japan's talent elevation by the fact that they can now interchangeably use young wrestlers at the top of the cards on these shows. And in New Japan, it's all about the house. And guess what? They're not down year over year in any significant market, despite the fact that you're having first-time people headlining these shows. KOB were not headlining shows last year. Yuya Uemura was not headlining shows last year. Oiwa was not headlining shows last year. They have created numerous first-time headliners. Oleg Boltin was not headlining shows last year, and he is this year because they're being brought along up the card, and you can see it. You can tangibly see it. There's no guesswork here. You're not having to go, I think he's above now because of this and that. No, it's linear. It's linear, and okay. I'll give you the names. Oleg Boltin, Ryohei Oiwa, Yuya Uemura, Shota Umino. They broke him down and brought him back up. And the biggest one that I'm going to name now is the former Prince of Pace. Callum Newman last year was just a guy. He was just a guy in a stable that was losing its way. And he won the New Japan Cup. And he gained credibility within the New Japan Cup. And then he reestablished the bond with Will Ospreay. And now, through the cup win, he beat Yota Tsuji and became the IWGP champion, the youngest ever in the history of the promotion. That is a successful, purposeful 2 to 3 month elevation that was done with conviction, so sharp that it successfully led to him now being a plausible world champion. And he beat another guy that they crowned this year in Yota Tsuji. I want to make this real clear, Joe, before I end this.
Mm-hmm.
Most companies would consider themselves extremely fortunate to have 1 to 2 of these prospects at one time. New Japan Pro Wrestling has 8 of them concurrently, and they're all peaking at the right time and rising all at the exact same time, and it's bringing up their company. Yuya, Shota, Tsuji, Newman, Oscar, Yuto Ice, Oleg Bolton, Ryohei Oiwa.
Okay.
They have numerous main event wrestlers in a 5-month span.
Okay. I don't want to cut you off because this is the final round, but I felt your point was concluded there, and it was a very worthy point. Chris, how would you respond to it?
Yeah, first thing I want to say is Ibou contradicted himself a couple of times in his statement. He brought up that Kyle Fletcher has been a star and has been in the main event scene from 2 years ago. And then he brought up Shota Umino, who main evented Wrestle Kingdom a year or two ago, if I'm not wrong. That's a contradiction because he was in the main event scene a year ago. Someone like Yota Tsuji was in the main event scene 2 years ago at that, when he was wrestling Naito in pay-per-views, main evented a pay-per-view with Naito. And he's always been an upper guy up there for years, almost since he came back. When he came back, he faced, was it Sonata? I believe he got a world champion shot his first match back. He has been in the main event scene for years. It's not a new thing with Yota Tsuji. It's not a new thing with Shota Umino. I'll give you Yuya Uemura, who has been a mid-carder. But these 2 guys you're naming have been guys who have already been up there. So I don't know why you brought up the point that Kyle Fletcher, and then you brought up Kevin Knight, who, no, he was not someone who was in a position that he's in now. And I think it's ridiculous to even suggest that he is. Someone who worked his way up from the dojo, your dojo, from New Japan as a junior, and made himself undeniable in AEW, or he had got over almost instantly. But recently, the way he's connected with the fans, with his in-ring work, and with his mic work, and with his personality, because he has a personality, unlike a lot of the wrestlers you have named. He has something that drives the fans to, oh, I'm going to cheer the Jet, right? And then, since you're bringing up guys who've been in the event, I'm going to still bring up MJF because he is still a young guy. It doesn't have to be linear with, oh, he's been pushed, so how's the elevator? You can elevate yourself more. And
you can develop young talent. I think that's actually important because it can't just be a count of how many new guys, right? So I think that's important. Now, I think both sides have, worthy arguments. That is important. Carry on, Chris, and then we'll go back to you.
And like Joe said, it elevated MJF even more, in my opinion, because I think during his first reign, he was a champion. I don't know if he was truly the face of the company, because you still had the Danielsons, the Omegas at the peak of their powers, the Moxes at the peak of their powers. But this year, undeniably, look at the media he was doing. He did media on our show, did media on Late Night Grin. There's media everywhere, proving that he is a true top guy. And he's only 30. And he's someone who...
Just 1 second, because I think he's about to wrap back to you anyway.
Yeah.
Chriso, go for it.
My last point is, the elevation of these guys who have gotten over, who will be the pillars of the company going forward. It's just a lot. And then when I look at New Japan, my last point, I'm sorry, my last point.
Last point, and then we're going to let Ibou go.
Did they elevate someone who was a hero in their country with Aaron Wolf, who they have fucking dropped the fucking ball with? It started at Wrestle Kingdom, and they have dropped the ball with. No one cares about Aaron Wolf anymore. No one cares that he was this Olympian because New Japan told you, no, this guy fucking sucks. He's going to lose to fucking Bad Luck Fale. He sucks. He's going to lose to Ren Narita. He's going to get jobbed out, actually, to Ren Narita. That would never happen to a young guy who AEW sees something in. And you can't say New Japan didn't see anything in Aaron Wolf because they debuted him on Tanahashi's last show. They gave him chances. And look at him. They couldn't do it. Gato couldn't do his job. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Ibou, respond. And I don't want to leave the floor to Ibou here, because this is the final round. So I want to get everyone a chance to get their points out on the table. Ibou, you respond.
Yeah, Chris talks about contradiction, and then he contradicts himself. He makes the argument that Shota Umino was a main eventer last year, and then goes on to say that MJF was a main eventer in the past, but now he's actually the man and he's found himself. You literally contradict your own point.
Not contradicting.
Yes, it is. And let me please,
sir.
I'm giving my response to you after I did not.
Go for it. Give the response.
Yeah, look, my man, Shota Umino was not working as a top guy, and he spent an entire year being broken down and sent all the way back to the bottom. And now he's being elevated up naturally in a way that's actually getting him over organically. So it's not a moot point to mention him as an elevation, because the guy didn't work and he had no value or equity or and the fans didn't care for him. And now he's working his way back up in a more sincere way, and it's leading to a more lasting spot up the card. So it's worth naming him. You should understand this, considering you yourself just said MJF. You said it's not linear. MJF was a main eventer in 2021. But we all know, and nobody would argue, he's much more so the man now than he was 5 years ago. Now, I'll move on from that point because I've already responded to it. Chris is talking about all these other people, but brother, how many years now has AEW had so many would-be's and shoulda, coulda, wouldas and guys that were supposed to be the next thing? If anything, it's almost a
Who are you
fact.
talking about?
Well, I'll give you a
1
couple.
second.
Yes.
Yep. Go for it, Ibou.
I'm gonna keep it relevant to this year because I don't want to drag down the conversation with anecdotal examples from years past. So to be relevant to this conversation, out of respect for my referee and the audience, I'll simply say this: Konosuke Takeshita was supposed to be, by this point, further along than he is. And the reason that he is not is because of his company's inability to follow up on big moments with him, on big matches with him. He failed to beat Jon Moxley. He failed to overcome Okada. He failed to overcome the fact that his own stable is verbally abusing him all the time, and at points physically hurt him in matches. And so he has remained in the same exact role that he has been in for 3 years, considering the fact that he turned on Kenny Omega 3 years ago. But we'll move on from Takeshita. Again, yes.
Let's get one more example, and I want Chris a chance to respond. All right, Ibou?
Well, I'll just say that when I look at AEW's young wrestlers, the bigger feeling that I get more than anything is stagnation. Bandito is a wrestler that I love. And you would have thought if the progression in AEW was linear, he would be higher now than he was a year ago. And he is broadly in the same spot. And it's not a bad spot. He's an excellent talent who makes the most out of his spot. But again, AEW's progression is not as linear because their creative infrastructure is such that pulls people in a lot of lateral directions. And again, that's why I mentioned a Shota Umino. You can bring him all the way back down to then pull him back up vertically. And they did that.
Okay.
And
very valid point, Ibou. We're gonna go back and forth some more because it's the final round. Okay, just want you to stop you there. Chriso, please respond to that, and then we'll go back and forth one last time or two here. Go for it, Chriso.
Yeah, so I just want to say, you're giving up these examples, but what I want to say is not really giving examples of how these guys are truly as elevated as the guys I'm saying. Who on your roster is been elevated this year has as much as MJF? Because you agreed that he elevated himself from 2021 going on in 2026. He's definitely the most elevated guy from either company, I would say. And then
to answer you.
Well,
1 second, and then you'll have a chance to. Chriso, finish your point, and then we'll get the answer.
Kevin Knight. You know what? I take it back. Kevin Knight, who elevated himself from a junior to an undeniable star. Because in our company, we don't just wrestle. We have to cut promos. We have to tell stories. We have to do stuff that isn't just, oh, I was a young lion and I want to be different now. That's all the stories of your young guys are. Show
That's
Uno,
no,
I
it's
was
not.
a young lion with Yuya Uemura, so I want to be better than him. So I was a young lion with these guys too, so I want to be better. It's all
That's
the same story.
that's not.
None of these guys have any agency to themselves other than their quirkiness of what they do together. But all these guys' stories are just, I was a young lion, Tanahashi's gone.
Let's
It's time
avoid
for me
too
to
much
step up.
story talk. I understand the point. But we
I
avoid
agree,
too much
I agree.
story
But I
talk.
just
Okay.
the elevation of the guys in my company, the Fletchers, the Maxes, the Kevin Knights are very much bolder moves by the company because you have Kenny Omega and all these other, you have Kenny Omega, fucking Moxley, all these other guys, and we got actual people who were not anything big or not anything on the card crazy going up to the level that they're at now.
Okay, thank you,
Chris,
Chris.
you mentioned boldness. There is nothing more creatively bold from any wrestling company this year than taking somebody in Callum Newman and deciding we're going to make him the guy and executing it so well that it very much was something that was accepted by the audience. There's nothing more bold than that when it comes to elevating talent. It was done with so much conviction. Like I said, key wins over key talent. David Finlay, beating Goto, beating Yuya in the finals, beating Tsuji. That is an actual successful elevation and more bold than anyone that you could talk about. And then beyond that, the other one that I didn't get to talk about was Yota Tsuji. You're talking about he's been a main eventer. No, this guy was situationally placed in and out of a challenger role, and he was the furthest along of the Young Lions, but it wasn't until this year that he got to actually plant his flag. He won a Tokyo Dome semi-main event in front of 50,000+ people where he won the world title for the first time. That's already a linear ascension. And in doing so, he told his audience that the ace is gone, but it's okay because now the team is on my back. And he's still in that position. I already made that point earlier.
But what's his story?
This is not a story around.
It's a word story.
But with the development of Yota Tsuji, what's different about him than what it was? What's different about Yota Tsuji?
What's different about him is he showed
the same, he acts the same, he talks the same. What's different?
Let's hear Ibou's answer.
Well, what's different about him is he's showing his audience now, I can get it done on the big stage. It's like in real sports. Again, this is the king of sports. You respect an athlete more when you know that they can win a championship. When you see that they can go to the finals and actually get it done, there's a different level of reverence that your audience carries for him. Yota Tsuji now, that's why New Japan does establishment title wins. Their creative is set up to where sometimes they'll give a guy a title, even if it's maybe a little premature, just to tell the audience he can do it. So take him seriously. And that's why now Tsuji can credibly main event any show, any Korakuen, any show in Ryogoku, so on and so forth. And like I said at the top of this round, New Japan has a number of wrestlers now that can headline Ryogoku, that can headline Korakuen, that can headline other venues, and that they could not last year because
these guys headline Wrestle Kingdom.
Many of them now are in position where they're on a trajectory towards doing so, and you're actually seeing it more than the wrestlers that you named. And you keep going to Kevin because Kevin is one of the projects that you can point to tangibly.
Cal Fletcher can't main event a pay-per-view?
Let me finish. Tangibly, because the thing with AEW is they'll give this guy a belt, they'll give that guy a belt, they'll give this guy a spotlight, but sometimes it's hard to see what is the actual tangible progression being made with them, or are they all just interchangeable mid-carders that get interchangeable television time at a given month or two? Look at Daniel Garcia, for example. He is a former TNT champion, and what has that meant for his ascension and his role in the promotion?
That wasn't this year, Ibou.
Okay, let's hear from Chris.
It wasn't, but you know what we got this year? We have a guy.
It's my turn to talk though, so I can't say anything.
Let's hear Chris's response. Go for it, Chris.
You're talking about these things, and you're saying that people are just, it doesn't matter. So, like, do you honestly in your heart believe that Kevin Knight isn't going to, might not be able to main event anything for New Japan, for AEW?
You keep talking about.
I don't think it is. I don't think you believe.
We lost Chris. Chris, go. Yep.
Hello? Y'all hear me?
You're good. You're good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think, Ibou, you believe that these guys are stagnant. I don't think you believe Kevin Knight's stagnant when he's going to face the top guy in the company next
year. You're not listening to my point. You keep harping on Kevin because that's the only guy you have.
But that's what first of all, you're not letting me speak. First of all, you're not letting me speak, but that's what you're saying. You're saying all this, and you're talking about guys who are mid-carders. Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura this whole year we're tag team guys. So what are we talking about that these guys are elevated? Just tag team wrestlers right now. That's all they are. They haven't won anything meaningful in singles matches.
Okay.
If they have, tell me. Tell me what they have won meaningful matches. Tell me right fucking now. Tell me.
Okay. He was going to go, Chris. You can mute. We have a little bit of an echo because I think your headphones may have gone. I think.
My
Ibou,
response is, Chris, that's a tourist response. You don't pay attention. Like I said, we make linear progression. Yuya and Shota are not even a tag team anymore. They broke up prior to the New Japan Cup. And what we got in the New Japan Cup was their ascensions. Yuya Uemura made it to the finals as a singles wrestler and headlined a show for the finals of the New Japan Cup that was following him as a tag guy, something that he isn't now. You're not paying attention. You don't know what's happening, and you're not following the stories that are being told. Or
they were a tag team for a majority of the year, Ibou. They were. Were they not a tag
And
team for a
guess
majority
what?
of the year?
And guess what? And now they're not because they've been elevated. That's what elevation is. That's what elevation is. You go from point A to point B, and now they're in point B, and you're talking about point A. They're not in point A.
Fellas,
because we got to another point.
What's the elevation?
Fellas, let's stop it right there. As exciting as that was, as great action as that was to the final bell, I think at this point the arguments have been made. Would you agree, guys, if we're being honest here? I think people are going to stand where they stand. And that, I think it's fair to say, and I don't know what the judges have been saying throughout this program, but I think that was the most contentious round. That was the most competitive round, if you ask me. They punched to the bell. They traded bombs to the bell. It is now time for you in the self-made Discord to have your say on who is going to take this thing home. The third round, the poll will be up in mere moments. Once it is up, our hosts are going to rejoin us. They're going to read through some final super chats. They're going to make a final announcement. 3 announcements in one program. If you haven't liked this stream by now, what are you waiting for? If you haven't used hashtag self-made debates, what are you waiting for? At us in those posts too. We want to see you guys engaging with the show. We've been on the air for almost 3 hours. We are ready for the final poll to go up. Our hosts are back. We're going to take this thing home. What a final round. Wow.
What a round. What a round. One of the parties there lost me. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to say which one. However, I like the energy. I like the fire. This is the greatest community in the world. We have already moved dozens. I say dozens of merchandise products. Please, sale is going to continue through. I don't know when the sale is going to continue through, but we're going to keep the sale going for a while. Please get your self-made merch today. Please like the video if you haven't. Tweet using hashtag self-made debates. And speaking of how much this community supports us, we have hit 500 self-made capo tier members. And if you remember what I told y'all, what would happen if we hit 500 self-made capo tier members? Self-made draft special 2 is under development. 2 weeks from today, ladies and gentlemen, Chriso Bread is the reigning winner. The first time it was myself versus Chriso versus Ibou in an all-time draft. I'm not sure what we're going to do personnel-wise or what type of draft we're going to do. We will let the community members give some input on that in the week or two heading up to the draft. We're open to anything, though. We're open to anything. So let us know, when we're doing watch-alongs or in the Discord or on the timeline or whatever, what you would like to see if you're a capo tier member or if you're a prospective capo tier member. Sign up today, please. Let's get into these last couple super chats. Speaking of capo tier, Ethan 3050 became a YouTube member. We appreciate you, gang. With your capo tier membership, you can get on Wednesdays. We have a rotating show. We have Hanging with Hulbert, and we have Backup Hangman Radio. I believe this Wednesday is Backup Hangman Radio, Ibou.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Backup Hangman Radio is back this Wednesday. And if you're a new member or old member, go back to last Friday. On Purist, One Night Stand happened where we live reacted to the WWE releases.
Unfortunately,
I cried.
It was a great time. Oh my god, it was so unfortunate, bro. Anytime you see people lose their jobs, bro, it just personally ruins your own day. So
Legitimate tears.
that was a shame. It was great content though. For our couple tier members, lock in on that. Fridays, upcoming Friday, Self-Made Sandbox is back. We are back on The Walking Dead, and then the Wednesday after that is Hang with Hulbert. Friday after that is Self-Made Sandbox again, and then that Sunday, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after this upcoming Sunday, we have Self-Made Draft Special 2. All right. Harley Qatari, 2000. Ibou can't help himself from mentioning WWE. Ibou, is this true?
No.
What the fuck is that?
It's Chriso. I don't know what y'all going on.
I was simply drawing a broad example to make a point clear to the audience, which is that normally belts are supposed to have a hierarchy of importance.
I think you should have just gone straight to the in-house one, but you eventually got there. You eventually did get there, to be fair.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yosai, New Japan Pro Wrestling is a developmental who only uses younger guys because they lose every big star. The use of younger guys is a necessity, not a want.
They still have.
What I'll say about that is, I don't know if it was like willful ignorance in the chat when Ibou was like, guys, like our biggest drawing acts last year have been down cycles, and you guys were like, but that was last year.
Right, that was
last year, guys.
He was
using it. He was using last year
Yep.
to prop up his point or what's going on this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saying who's having the better year doesn't mean you can never reference the past.
Yeah.
That just makes no sense.
Especially the conversation about progression and
that was actually a good point. I thought the idea that like they still have Goto and Zach and they're still making a point of letting younger. I liked that point. It was a good, excellent point. AO to highlight that because that was relevant. Absolutely, it was.
Bro, Goto headline shows in front of 6,000 people last year. They could have easily just went, "We want to keep the house. We're gonna stick with Goto."
Yeah.
And same with Zach.
He headline the down cycle because his drawing power dropped. He got injured. And then they were like, all right, well, we were probably going to go younger anyway. And they just went younger.
I genuinely don't know how people are voting, but that third round was a hell of a round, I thought. Hell of a round.
Awesome. It was awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Shot
down Spurs, $5 super chat. You guys have both done an excellent job regardless of who wins. This last round has been incredibly close.
Thank you.
Kings of content, man. Kings of content. Thank you, Shot-Town Spurs. King Cam, remember for 3 months. Joe won round 3. Hey man, it's not easy, bro. It's not. Joe's job is not easy, bro. That's why we gotta bring in Big Bird. At first, I was like, "Yo, do I want to ref?" I was like, "Fuck no, Joe got it."
You definitely didn't want to.
Riley Black with another $50 super chat. We appreciate you so much, Riley. You have been the true star of this debate special. Congrats to both participants. Nothing but love to Ibou and Chriso for trying. I am now a converted moderate trad mid-Romney Republican in Stomach Hurts. Why do Stomach Hurts get these labels, bro?
You are.
Please come to Riley versus Alan Cito Ox battle for the ages this weekend. Women only artists. I'm pulling up. Are we pulling up?
Yeah, I just want to say.
Belly. Go ahead, Rob.
I just want to say AO getting the centrist moderate tag when my thing is literally all wrestling good. It's awesome.
Bro, I'm not even doing I'm not fence sitting. Ibou's a dub batter. I'm not a dub batter, bro.
No, I actually love AEW hilariously. But,
yeah, but you turn the younger gimmick into dub bad. So like,
yeah. Listen, you got to do what you got to do in a debate.
See, chat, he doesn't mean anything he says, chat.
No, I do. I believe everything I say. But the point is, you can poke holes in the opponent for a debate and still have love for the opponent.
Over, bro.
The guys waiting for the judges' scorecard, yelling at each other, going, "All right, fellas, we had a hell of a fight. Come on now."
Ibou, would you like to take a shot at reading this?
No.
Good. Correct answer. Thank you.
All right. There's a lot of kanji and or katakana. I don't really know the difference. Shout out to all my Japanese niggas. Hashtag Hungry FC. Hashtag Uwu. Grave Jello. Member for 4 months. We appreciate you, Mr. Jello. Didn't appreciate the rampant racism from the Nuge side, but I love the otherwise friendly battle. Cheers.
Yo, Ibou does say, yo, that's tough. Niggas can't get booked.
Yo, Chris going to that was crazy in round 2.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
awesome. I would have just said that was awesome.
I guess I can't be a proud black man.
Yeah, all right, man.
Sprout, $2 super chat. Ibou, I hope you know it's all jokes and I love you.
Well, that's good to hear, Sprouts, because sometimes you hurt my feelings.
Kuzu, $5 super chat. Is AO Deadass the only one who can give Ibou strokes in these debates? Jesus
No,
Christ.
because I quite literally in my debate, I named like all the things I was supposed to name and gave out all I was supposed to get, and Ibou just said, "Oh, that doesn't matter," and you niggas voted for him. So
Wait, what did y'all debate? I was in.
we debated like the Roman and Cody shit, and I was just like, "Yo, Roman elevated way more niggas and had way more memorable." Stop talking while I'm talking, nigga. I'm talking.
Oh.
Ibou quite literally.
No, that was low-key
I
low,
named a bunch of Roman Reigns memorable matches and memorable moments, memorable that everybody remembered from that time period. Ibou just quite literally went, "Well, that doesn't matter because I don't remember."
Wait, why do y'all
anymore.
keep like erasing the fact that I already beat Ibou on this channel in the debate? Y'all keep
That
erasing it. I already beat him.
I
And
shooting an
hopefully
angle
today
here. I like
is
this.
just like that one.
With all love and respect, Rob, my debate victory over you was the most dominant of all the debate victories.
Bro,
That's
because
true.
because your debate
Wait, you got-
strategy,
yo, Rob
don't
got 3-0'd?
actually like
Rob
you
got
don't
3-0'd?
actually
No, it was one
you
round,
don't
but
actually
he lost
respond to
badly.
arguments.
Oh,
you just
no.
go, that doesn't matter. So like,
Here we go.
Rob did really bad, bro. It is what it is.
I mean, I didn't, but that's cool.
Red Raider Dre, self-made mod, longtime friend of ours, the artist behind the self-made theme song. Red Raider Dre, shout out to you, bro. Member for 3 months. Chills when I wear that self-made hoodie at the gym and people ask where I got it from. Yo, we appreciate you, gang. We appreciate you, gang. Grave Jello. I don't keep saying gravel. Grave Jello. Gifted 5 self-made pro memberships. We appreciate you. Debate 2 weeks from today. Backup Hangman Radio this Wednesday. Sandbox
Draft
this
2 weeks
Friday.
today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Draft 2 weeks from today. Backup Hangman Radio this Wednesday. Sandbox this Friday. Hanging with Hulbert next Wednesday. Self-made Sandbox again. All that good stuff. A lot of content. A lot of back content too. You can check out the old draft that we did, moderated by Big Bert himself.
Hey, yo, don't forget, Cade updated this year's archive of self-made watch-along content in the Discord, which means you can track some of the greatest watch-alongs we've done in recent memory, including that tremendous one where we watched a bunch of Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah, I'm a fucking warrior. That one, that was gold.
Yeah, are we ever gonna upload that that one watch on that I was like, yeah, this can never see the light of day.
You know, we should make that like a special thing.
Maybe
the day we touch $1 million off this self-made shit, and literally uncancelable. We'll upload.
What if we make a 150 tier and you get to keep that footage?
Nah, because I mean, hey man, if someone wants to pay us $150 to fucking put that on Twitter,
on Twitter.
But and additionally to all this, folks, if you love what we got going on, you can hang out with us because we'll be in the Discord a little bit later tonight for match recs. Yes, that's how much we love you guys.
Do we know what matches we are watching?
Kate has the list. If you could send it to me, that'd
Kate,
be great.
if you could send that to us so we could advertise it. Danny denied $2 super chat. Ibou may be short and fat, but he's still our game.
I'm neither of these things. I'm actually really.
I mean, come on, bro.
I'm in good shape.
You guys will see Kings of New York weekend. This nigga is petite and obese. He's both of those things. Riley, CC, $2 super chat. Feel like we won't be hearing from Sprouts for a bit. Oh yeah, Sprouts is getting banned if Chriso didn't win. I don't know though. Leo Foxy, $5 super chat. Bane Shuri, KOB, Young Bucks, Tribal Chief, Fatal Influence, Stummy FC can't lose.
Hell yeah.
Great debate, y'all. Wait, Fatal Influence. Hold on.
Hey man, shout out to them. Ao, I have the lineup now. If you
go ahead.
Folks, tonight in the Self-Made Discord, you're gonna be seeing your faves hanging out watching pro wrestling. Tonight we're gonna be watching from ECW Hardcore Heaven 2000, one of my favorite ECW matches of all time, Yoshihiro Tajiri versus Steve Corino.
We're also going to be watching Braun Breaker and the Creed brothers versus Indus Sher and Jinder Mahal from NXT 2.0. Our third match tonight is a hidden gem from New Japan's 45th anniversary show in 2017. Ryusuke Taguchi against Hiromu Takahashi in the middle of his prime. And folks, one of my favorite TV matches in recent memory. In a 5-on-5 elimination tag, The Elite versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order in an absolute barn burner of a match from AEW Dynamite in 20.
Oh shit!
Actually,
wasn't that? I was about to say, wasn't that
Super
switch?
Elite.
Wasn't that switch because they said they couldn't make it? The person who
That was
recommended it?
yesterday, and then we switched
That
to
was
today.
Durr.
We're gonna watch an episode of Berserk. This episode is titled Band of Hawk, episode
shit.
2 of Berserk. So that'll be exciting. And our last two entries tonight, we're gonna watch the top 10 NHL fights of all time. I'm always down to watch some sports fights. And our main event tonight, folks, is highlights from the MLB World Series in 2016. So we have a really fun, really diverse lineup for tonight. That'll be in the Discord. You're going to be hanging out with me and the company. And if you can't get enough of Self-Made, even after that, we'll be live on sessions tomorrow. And we'll talk about the latest in pro wrestling, including WWE's releases. And I'll have a little bit of news and notes on that. And then on Tuesday, Chriso Brett has never seen Goodfellas, everybody. And so tomorrow on Tuesday night,
Blows my mind, by the way.
Chris O'Brien for the first time will be watching
This
Goodfellas.
nigga's a cinephile, bro. How's he never seen Goodfellas?
I'm not really
I've told
sure.
y'all this so many times. I'm not really into mob stuff.
Oh, that's probably my favorite movie genre, bro, honestly.
Yeah, Sam. I love mob films and crime films, and I love Goodfellas. So we'll be watching that Tuesday night. We're working overtime here, man. Every day you guys are getting some self-made content, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. I appreciate it.
All right, let's do these last few super chats. 3,300 $5 super chat. Need another GOAT debate with AO and Ibou, but with Carlos Silva and Tony.
Oh man,
yo, Carlos Silva, bro. Like, I feel like when he eventually leaves the wrestling business, I don't think anybody's under the impression this is what he's going to be doing for like the next 10, 15 years. Like, we're just never going to hear from him again, bro. Like, he's going to be godly. He's going to disappear, bro.
He's going to
like as fast as he showed up, bro. He's just going to disappear.
Nah, he's gonna Dixie it, bro. I feel like now that like this shit is like actually giving his name a name, some sort of a name, I feel like he's gonna Dixie it.
You think if he ever gets like the boot from TNA or anything, he's just gonna go to fucking like NWA or MLW and he's like, yeah, man, I'm in the business now. I know how the business works.
In 2 years, bro, I'm telling you, 2 years we're gonna have Silverland, like Dixieland, bro. It's gonna be disgusting.
Oh, man.
Papaya King has gifted 5 self-made pro memberships. Welcome to the Capo tier, y'all. If you got a gifted sub from Papaya King, say thank you. A lot of content to look back on, a lot of content coming. And Jan, $2 super chat. Inoki is proud of you, Ibou. Hashtag Shin Nihon Ichiban.
All
right.
Proud of a black man. Word.
I think it's time, fellas, right?
It's time.
Yeah, Hulbert, do you have the results?
I do. I'll go round by round.
Okay.
Folks, again, I want to congratulate both debaters on their work tonight, but it's time to find out the winner.
Okay.
Round number 1.
Yeah.
With a very impressive 80% of the votes.
God damn.
Ibou got out to an early lead.
Ooh. Remind us what round number 1 was again. That was
Better
Stories.
Better stories.
Better
Okay.
Round 2, Better Matches.
Okay.
Was much more competitive.
Mm.
With 61% of the votes. Chris O'Brien tied it up.
Okay, we got it tied up.
What was the score of the round?
61% to Chris O'Brien.
Okay.
In the conclusive, deciding third round.
Oh shit.
With 67% of the votes.
6-7.
The winner of this self-made debate is Ibou gets it done.
Yes!
With 67% of the votes in our final round. Taking it 2-1.
Ibou did it, bro.
29-28, if you will.
I can't lie. Ibou was like a plus 400, plus 500 going into this
Definite
debate,
underdog.
bro.
Yep.
Yes!
You know.
He was a big underdog, and he did it, bro. He did it. Let's fucking go. Good shit, boys. I'm proud of y'all. It was a great fight. It was a great fight.
It was.
GG Ibou. No victim gimmick for me because I I'm a real competitor. I have no problem in saying when I was beat fair and square. Good job. You had a lot of great points to yourself. And I'm happy that you won. No
Chriso,
victories
you know
in
what
it
you
for
are,
me.
mate? You're a fucking warrior. That's what you are, Chriso.
I appreciate that.
Hold your head high.
It was a fun time. It was a fun
Yep.
time. I appreciate it.
Ibou, you got it done. The emotions, very obvious there. Do you have any message for the people?
I want to thank the audience for putting themselves in a position to vote objectively, regardless of where they stood.
Holy shit!
I'd like no, I'm thanking them because I got the sense that the majority of the audience prefer AEW, but they still watched the debate and just judged the debate. Chris, you did a really good job. You almost successfully rage baited me at numerous points in the debate, but thank you for being a worthy competitor. You are very much a worthy competitor, and I thought this was a really strong debate. And I just appreciate everybody that has been a part of this process.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me, fellas. This was a pleasure as always.
Of course, Joe. Get some sleep, brother.
The night is young, boys.
Wait, do you really have content coming up? Or?
I have content. I just might watch some wrestling. Hang out.
Oh, wait.
It's a beautiful Sunday night, you know.
It is.
Tonight, fellas.
I'm gonna order some pizza.
Hell yeah.
All right, a couple. Ibou, this is all you, bro.
My Nubians and Joe do a debate on who's more masculine, Punk and Marco Stunt. Also, Ibou, was that Ethan Page yelling gimmick? What was that Ethan Page yelling gimmick? Is your cortisol okay?
Yeah, I remember when Ethan Page every Wednesday
would just
on Dynamite would get on the mic and scream about nothing, and then people would run to Twitter and be like, "Oh my God, this Ethan Page guy! What a talk! What a talk!"
No, how scared were you when I started screaming at Chris in round 2?
Yeah, that was you got really aggressive there. But the thing is, we needed some entertainment, so I had to kind of just let you run wild. I felt round 1 was pretty passive, to be honest.
I was mad as fuck, bro. These niggas was like, I'm gonna let you finish.
I told myself before the thing, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a peaceful. I told them I was gonna do a peaceful gimmick. I should have started off getting nasty.
And then Ao and Fulanoki went bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like, come on, guys. Yeah, it was a moment there, but we got through it.
All right. Yosai, $2 super chat. Just got off the phone with TK. Chriso, you are banned.
Oh, man.
Word, he can try.
Yo, what? All right, bro. This is the new one. Carlos Silv Goat, $2 super chat. I'd own that Ibou size, man. TNA on AMC Thursdays.
No, it don't hit the same, bro. It don't hit the same, bro.
That's a rare photo without a hat on, dude. Look.
Yeah, like this that fucking off-brand fucking Canal Street TNA hats missing.
Come on.
All right. That's it, boys. That's it. Self-made merch is available now. Draft special 2 weeks from today. Self-made sessions tomorrow. Yeah, man, that's really it. Self-made shits. Oh, like the video. Leave a comment. Please leave a comment. Push us in the algorithm. We appreciate y'all. Self-made shit, self-made forever, and we are out of here.
Thank you.